enough, I'm finding it plenty. Details I couldn't just make up, it reminds me of Fenty. Comforted by your voice, sweet as a pint of Talenti. Opened up my mind some time ago, you would find it was filthy. Cleansed by the things he said, rinsed by things I read. Drenched in a bloody shed, dripping. Clean, 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 I've been forgiven. Fall into the springs to get the wisdom. Skinny dipping, floating in rivers. Watching the soul invictus, getting broke to shivers. Into the victors go the biggest picture. Broken boys soaked in sin, make men that drown sorrows in gin. My sons be down like tomorrow begins. Deep in rap isms, I had back-to-back baptisms and came up a wet black nigga. I had to fix it.
Wash him in that water. Clean, clean, clean him in that water. Don't wash him in that water. Gotta wash him in that water. Clean, clean, clean him in that water. Christ sent me not to baptize, but to preach the gospel to the church, that it might be sanctified with the cleansing by the water, with the word, with the cleansing by the water, with the word, with the cleansing by the water, with the word. Won't you rain it down? Won't you rain it down on us? Rain it down. Ooh, wash 'em in that water. Clean, clean, clean 'em in that water. Don't wash 'em in that water. Gotta wash 'em in that water. Searching for them answers, I'm gonna make them clear. They searching for them answers, I'm gonna take them there. I'm bringing out the scriptures, they say no, not here. No, not here. Now we here. Talking in circles, man, they talking fear. I'm like, what you saying, it's just the Bible, man. See, they won't understand, no, no, no. I give them a day or two, they be searching for you. Christ crack the sky, they be searching for you. Asking all them questions, can you help me, Lord? Father, please have mercy, cause they do not know. Father, please have mercy, cause they do not know. Wash 'em in that water. Clean, clean, clean 'em in that. Take 'em down, down. Hey, Father, you said you love me, you said you love me. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. You said you love me, you said you love me. They don't make 'em how they used to. Old school riding in the new school. New school riding in the old school, but I'm playing with it. They don't make us how they used to. Old school blind to the new school. New school rockin' with the wheel looked up. Seat back chucking deuce. No, we don't get down how they used to. Why they gotta get in my? Why they gotta get in my lane? In my lane, straight is the way to the gate. Straight is the way to the gate. In my lane, why they gotta get in my? Why they gotta get in my lane? In my lane, straight is the way to the gate. Straight is the way to the gate. In my lane.
I'm gone, can't stick around for too long. I move, stay numb.
In my lane.
I've been
Way up purifying in the gardens. You shouldn't do that. There's a tree in the midst, 2/3 looking at it like, where we about to eat at? Serpent on the branch, I don't see that. They're like, nah, where you see that? They're like, hey, you should join us. Everybody about to be there. Many called, only few chosen. I can stick around, gotta get going. I got other plans, but this ain't one of them. Gotta stay rooted, there's a storm coming in. Gate with my name, don't know which one it is. If you ain't sealed, then you ain't going in. Hard to make friends when they don't understand. Show them to the light, but they don't clear it. Why they gotta get in why they gotta get in my lane? In my lane. Straight is the way to the gate. Straight is the way to the gate. In my lane. Why they gotta get in why they gotta get in my lane? In my lane. Straight is the way to the gate. Straight is the way to the gate. In my lane.
I'm gone, can't stick around.
Check. Men of Israel, blow trumpets. Trumpets down.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 18, verse 46. The Lord liveth, and blessed be my rock, and let the God of my salvation be exalted. It is God that avengeth me, and subdueth the people under me. He delivereth me from mine enemies. Yea, thou liftest me up above those that rise up against me. Thou hast delivered me from the violent man. Therefore will I give thanks unto thee, O Lord, among the heathen, and sing praises unto thy name. Great deliverance giveth he to his king, and showeth mercy to his anointed, to David and to his seed forevermore.
Heavenly Father, we come before thee in thy Son's name, Father, thanking thee, Father, for all things. Heavenly Father, in thy Son's name, we come before you asking you, Father, that you bless us, Father, with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, Father, so that we can continue to do the works, Father, that you set forth for us, Father. In thy Son's name, Father, we ask that you watch over all those, Father, that are weak in spirit, Father. Build them up, Father. Send thy angels, Father, to protect them, Father. Those that are sick amongst us, Father, we ask also that you bless them, Father. Heal them, Father, of their ailments, Father. In thy Son's name, we come before thee, ask you also, Father, that you bless our enemies, Father, that you wake them up, Father. Those that thought that they had buried us, Father. Those that thought that they could come against thy word, against your truth. We ask you, Father, that you open their eyes, Father, to thy tender mercies, Father, thy everlasting kindness, Father. In thy Son's name, we come before thee, thanking thee always for all things. Amen.
Men of Israel, sons of God, patient saints, sons of God, and salute. Salute down, face sisters. To the honorable daughters of Sarah, we say shalom.
All praise, all praise. We are in Austin, Texas. All praise to Most High. As Bishop getting ready, I know Bishop called this class Rise. What is called this? Rise from the ashes. Me, I would have called it Rise from the ashes of the niggers. That's what I would have called it.
Damn,
But
Deke, we didn't get started. God.
that's what I would have called it. But
Head crack.
again, it's not my class.
Yeah.
It's your class.
Was all praises. Happy Sabbath, all of you. Most High in Christ bless you all. For those out there listening, Online, happy Sabbath. Those that support us in this mission to bring about Christ's kingdom, happy Sabbath. And for the rest of you all, happy Sabbath. Hey, listen, real talk. Do want to say a couple things first before we begin. We have a lot. I'm talking about Austin. Have a lot to be proud of that we are still here striving to do this work. That giving all praise to the Father first and foremost. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say this, is that what Austin had to look towards, and we know we give all glory to the Father and His Son, first and foremost. But it is the steadfastness and leadership that we have here, from bishops, deacons, captains on down. You were a beacon of light that we continue to look towards to make sure that we have a path to follow. Austin was on shaky grounds. I do want to say this. This is December 2021. And if many of you recall, in December of 2018, 3 years to the date, unsaid men, women thought to undermine what God is building. Nigga, the shit didn't, it didn't work. That. It didn't work. You know, all you did was make us stronger. For myself, it was definitely a learning lesson on perfecting myself as a leader to be at service to you all. So today's class is entitled Risen from the Ashes. And let's begin. Oh, and guess who we have here? We have an Instagram sensation, Deacon Hammer, Deacon Knowledge. Lava boy, I tell you. Let's go. I put him on the spot. And you know, we got Bishop here. Y'all, so I'm glad I had an opportunity to sit next to this man. This man's been laboring for so many years, man. I tell you, it is a privilege to have all of you too. And you know, my young protege, young Griller, over there, young Griller. All right, so we're gonna begin at. I don't even know what I want to start. Hebrews 11. The young Griller. Hebrews 11. Should I start there? Yeah, let's start Hebrews 11 and 10. One verse.
Yes, sir. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 10. For he looked for a city which have foundations, whose builder and maker is God.
Hey, real quick. When you're building anything of worth, your builder and maker better be God, or it come to naught. If you're moving in any other spirit other than as God prescribed, and we're talking about building back up the nation, and this goes for any camp, anybody, that if you want to build, you want the secret recipe on why IUIC is flourishing as far as in this work. And again, I'm saying that, but and for that, this is not for you all here, because you all understand. For people out there seeing us, they're looking from the outside in. It's very simple. You must apply the commandments. You must apply the teachings of Christ without partiality. If you want to grow anything, it has to be done right. And this building, one more time again.
Yes, sir. Hebrews 11 and 10. For he looked for a city which have foundations, whose builder and maker is God.
And this city hath foundations, whose builder and maker is God. Many people may not fully understand, but we're built on the rock, which is Christ. This foundation is Him. And the builders that are here to build, Bishop Nathaniel, bishops and deacons, are called of God. How do I know that? How do you know that? You're looking at it. You are the fruits of it. You are living in real time, seeing this kingdom, Christ's kingdom, being built right in front of you. But always know that the kingdom that's being built, the maker is God. Everybody following? Okay. Watch this real quick. Let's go to Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 3. 1 Corinthians 3 and 1. 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 1 Corinthians chapter 3. Bear with me. And I want to start with verse 9.
Yes, sir. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 9. For we are laborers together with God. Ye are God's husbandry. Ye are God's building. According to the grace of God, which is given unto me.
Stop right there. For we are laborers together with God. Ye are God's husbandry. You are God's building. He's the builder. We're the building. It says, verse 10. Read.
According to the grace of God, which is given unto me as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth thereon. But let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon.
Listen to what Paul is saying here. According to the grace of God, which is given unto me. Again, in building anything, you have to understand that there has to be a dispensation of the grace that has to be given to you from God. Not anybody can just say, you know what? Oh, I decide I want to build a congregation and do it. It doesn't work like that. It has to be a grace given to you from God. And what I mean by that is that once, and I've said so many times before in classes, once you hit the streets, especially, and I'm going to relate to IUIC first because that's where I'm more versed in. The first wave coming in, or the first thing that established when IUIC was established was, listen, these laws of God must be applied. I'm talking about the conversations and the teachings that I had with Bishop. It must be applied without partiality. He was a stickler to that. Keep it. This is how it's going to grow. And then came the deacons, and so coming in, and these men were the first fruits that you see hit these streets. They were the first fruits that's on these streets, week in, week out, beginning to build back Christ's kingdom. Came the captains, and many of you men who've been around for years, you were that first wave of men that understand. You are the ones, you are that building this kingdom back. And then in time, we had brothers who came in with different skills, who were video editors, and brought those skills to help push this word further. And I said in other classes, we have now people with the music helping pushing it further. But they all have one thing in common. We're all working to the same goal. And if anybody has another goal in mind, it never works out for them. If you come in and you look like you're a street teacher, but you ain't, or you look like you're trying to be a musician, or you're trying to be whatever title you think you wanted this, but if it's not about building Christ's kingdom and God being the builder, it will come to naught. How many of you seen that happen over the years? By show of hands. Man, this whole room could raise their hand. How many people we've seen that came in that were singers? And where are they now? Gone. Video editors, gone. Teachers, gone. Our whole purpose is to bring back Christ's kingdom. And we come from a lower state. But watch this real quick. I'm not going to get long-winded. Verse 10 again.
Yes, sir. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 10. According to the grace of God, which is given unto me as a wise master builder.
Stop. As a wise master builder. The grace was given to him as a wise master builder. When you're a wise master builder, you know when you get these tools, what to do with them. You have some people, some other groups that have people come in, but they don't know what to do and pull the best out of each man. You know what? Okay, you know, you're going to be good for camp. We're going to have you heavy in camp. No. We don't need you for camp. We need you on them, edit them videos. No. You know what? We need you as a spokesperson. In certain cases, we know how to pick and choose, and we tell you the recipe. Here we go. We need brothers to reach out to Levi community. Get the brothers who speak Creole. The red man has come up against us. Get us the most fair-skinned brother. Let him be the spokesperson. You talk for us. We don't need you. You big black. No, we don't need you right here. But it takes a wise master builder to know what tools he has in front of him and pick and choose. This is the right person for this job right here. I'm telling you, this stuff is not very difficult if you're spiritual. You'll know what to pick, which tools as a wise master builder, how to extract the best out of each person for the purpose of building back Christ's kingdom. How many times you've seen people come around and do this, but they see money, they run for the money, they buy and drink or whatever, women, and the whole thing fall apart. You got a big gun with a whole lot of bullets, but you don't got no trigger finger. You don't know what to do with it. So as a wise master builder, read on.
As a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth thereon. But let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon.
The point I wanted at is the last part. It says, I have laid the foundation, and I'm sorry, read on.
I'm sorry. And another buildeth thereon.
And when you build something, you lay the foundation, another man builds on top of it, then another man comes and brings his pieces to the puzzle, another man brings his piece, but take heed how you build upon it. As a wise master builder, you should have some type of foresight to know this may not be the most expedient thing to do at this time. How do we rise and build this building? You take heed on how you're going to build upon it. What are you going to bring to the table? Read on.
Yes, sir. Verse 11. For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Jesus Christ.
Right. That's the first key. The first key is you can't lay no other foundation other than Christ being a foundation. And let me help you all out there online in these other groups. When it says Christ as the foundation, Yahweh Shai, Yeshua, whatever title or name you like to call him by, just calling on him means nothing. It's the application of the laws of God that activates it. It's not just saying his name. You have to be applying it. And sometimes you're going to have to apply it in situations that are uncomfortable, but that's what this whole thing is about. The first step to building and rising out of the ashes is you have to have your foundation based on Christ. And then we're going to talk about what does that mean on Christ, your foundation based on Christ. Before we go there, let's come right back here, go to 1 Peter's. And Bishop, if you want to chime in, deacons. 1 Peter's 2. Bear with me. 2 verse 4.
Yes, sir. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 4. To whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men.
Now start with verse 1. Let's just start from the top.
Yes, sir. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 1. Wherefore laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
You want to grow? You have to desire the sincere milk of the word. How do you know you desire it? Desire the sincere milk of the word? It just told you, laying aside what?
All malice and all guile and hypocrisies. And
all lies, malice, guile. You cannot grow and come out of this situation or decay we're in if you don't lay aside these things. It doesn't grow. You have to lay it aside. Read on.
And envies and all evil speaking.
And say that last part before that.
And envies.
And envy. You have to lay those things aside if you want to grow. Some brothers sit amongst us secretly envy. Treasonous niggas. Looking, envy. And I keep on asking, I keep on saying to y'all, what you envy, what sometimes when people envy or have a spirit of emulation to take over, I don't think you fully understand what you're asking for. Because I can tell you certainly, nobody up here, and I'm looking around to make sure I'm saying, nobody up here asked to be up here. You was called to be here. If you told me this is where I was going to be sitting 26 years ago, boy, I was lost. But for whatever reason, I'm here. The Lord chose me for his purpose. I just wanted to make sure I make my call and election sure. And all of you are called for God for whatever purpose he has for you. and praise God. I don't care where I sit here. I just want to be here. It's lonely out there. If any of you haven't been out there by yourself, it's lonely. Trust me. It's bad. Oh, damn. So let's read on.
Yes, sir. 1 Peter 2, verse 2. As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
Like newborn babes, you got a desire. You have to have a yearning. The sincere milk of the word. Why do you think it says sincere milk of the word? What does sincere mean? Anybody understand the definition of what the word sincere means? Look at this. That's sincerely. Okay. Sincere, that's good. It says genuine, from the heart, deep. Look at the Latin. Clean, pure. Not for you truly desire the word. And you know what comes from that word? The good and the bad. Everybody, somebody, some people always like the good part of these scriptures. But when they get you to start looking at yourself, people find excuses. They deny what this Bible. They're not sincere about this word. So I'm gonna bring a full circle back in a second concerning growing out of the ashes, rising out of it. You have to desire the sincere milk of the word that you might what?
Grow thereby.
That you might grow thereby. Read on.
Verse 3. If so be ye have tasted the Lord and tasted that the Lord is gracious, to whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of God, and precious, ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house.
A what?
Are built up a spiritual house.
It says ye also as lively stones. Why is it referring to the stones as being lively? I want y'all to just think. Just help me try to think. Why does it say lively stones? We always read the scripture. Nobody? Somebody take a guess. All right, we got a brother right back there.
Shalom, leadership. It says lively because Christ give us that life.
Okay, right there, officer.
Shalom, leadership.
Yes.
Living stones, because referring to the children of Israel, the stones refer to us.
Repeat the last part. I didn't hear it.
The stones refer to us.
Right. But my question is, why does it say lively? Bishop, you said you want to touch on something real quick? On that? Yeah, go ahead. You got the mic.
Shalom. Most High in Christ bless you. Happy to be here. It's good to see you, brothers and sisters, that you've made it and you've endured through the lies and the treachery and the slander and those evil spirits that sought to sink this congregation. And ultimately, their objective was to sink and destroy the nation of Israel, period. That's what their thought pattern was. But the Most High wasn't not going to allow that. Thank the Lord for that. And I thank God for judgment as well, because I know that's going to come to those that imagine evil against this congregation. The question that Bishop is going over, the class is absolutely amazing and it's beautiful. And that scripture that you was going through, read that 5th verse again, because I actually want to deal with the beginning parts of the chapter, but let's bring it from the point of the 5th verse.
Yes, sir. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 5. Ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house.
So the Most High is using lively stones. So like the brother said, he said that it is talking about Israel, but Bishop wanted the lively part. Why is it saying lively stones? Think of the context of, I'm giving it to you. Think of the context of the chapter. You had your hand up. Yes, sir. I ain't going to keep it, Bishop.
No, go ahead.
Shalom, Bishop. Most High Christ bless.
Shalom, Most High Christ bless you.
Because it's going into these stones will have life. They'll know the commandments, the breath of life.
Lively stones. We understand that the stones is us. Why is it? Read verse 5 again.
Yes, sir.
Wait. Yeah, read verse 5, and I'm going to back up to help you. Read it again.
Ye also as lively stones are built up a
What
spirit.
made them lively? What made them lively?
They were ready to do the work.
They were ready to do the work. That's good, but that ain't. Unless, Bishop, you want to bring.
No, go ahead. Finish.
All right. Look at verse 1 and 2.
Yes, sir. 1 Peter 2, verse 1. Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies. And
Are these, hold it. He said, wherefore, okay, read 1 and 2.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings.
So these would be the same stones that you read about in the 5th verse, but now we want to deal with the lively part, like my brother said, correct? Read.
Verse 2. As newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word.
Go ahead.
That ye may grow thereby.
There's a key word right there, grow thereby. Go ahead, read.
Verse 3. If so be ye have tasted that the Lord.
If so be what?
If so be ye have tasted.
Ye. I want to draw out the ye. So who is the Most High speaking to? He's speaking to these same spirits that's in the 5th verse. So from verse 1 to verse 5, they had to grow to get to verse 5. When the brothers and sisters first came in, they were lying. They said they were in malice. They were in guile. They were in hypocrisies. They were in envies. They were in evil speakings. Those are the things that were in us. But we have to grow past that so that we can manifest into the lively stones, where the commandments of Christ begins to illuminate in our actions. You can't be here for a few years and try to usurp your way into position like you was bringing out earlier. None of us asked to be here. You can't will your way and trying to wiggle and subvert your way up into leadership positions. That has to come. You just can't assert yourself into that. And that's what we've seen. Okay, and that will fizzle out because the Most High is not dealing with that. So the point from verse 1 to 5 is talking about these spirits growing into lively examples. That's the same connection where the Bible says, let your light shine that others may see your good works. People ain't going to see your good works and you just walked in here. When you first walked in here, you still have malice, guile, hypocrisies, and they don't want to go through the trials to exercise those demons out. So what end up happening? They end up falling to the wayside and become shipwrecked. You're talking 25 to 30 years. How many people you think I've seen that came into the truth tried to act like there was something in their behinds as in spiritual skid row? Done. So there you go. So what makes you lively is when you allow these commandments and this discipline to walk with you, to build you up in sincerity. The sincere milk of the word, not faking it until you're making it. No, it ain't none of that. You got to really build in this thing the right way in order for the real liveliness of the commandments to really shine through you. And that's where the blessing's going to come in.
That's right.
Okay, so what I want to say to you real quick, Bishop, I'm going to give it back to you. In Sirach chapter 2, because that's what I was thinking about when I thought about this congregation. Can I get that real quick? And then I'm going to give it back to Bishop at where 1 Peter's is. Sirach 2, verse 1.
Yes, sir. Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Many of the brothers and sisters that was in the congregation 3 years ago were very new, were very young. They didn't have time to even learn how to endure. But the Most High had his hand on your special spirits to not allow you to be swayed by feigned words. To not be easily sheared off by slick speech. And you've endured that thing. And you were able to make it. Now some of you can begin to see where the endurance paid off. Read it again.
Yes, sir. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Prepare your soul for temptation. When you brothers first came in here 3 years ago, you didn't even really understand what the scripture meant. But the Lord said, nope, some of these people are my elect, and I'm not going to allow them to be swayed by evil. So you need to think about that. Okay? So I want to say to IUIC Austin, because like me and Deacon IBL, we talk about this often. When last time we were here, hell almost broke loose. But I want to say something in regards to that real quick. They thought that was like that was some heavy thing, and that was really worth 15 cents. They thought their plot was that deep. No, the Most High said the deceived and the deceiver are his. Okay, so those that are no longer here, it was meant for them to go because they followed their own lust, and they all going to be burned together. Okay, so blessed are you that endured the temptation. So give yourselves a hand for that thing.
That's right. That's right. That's good. All praises. All praises. Got some wisdom in that. You know, you just say concerning you are the elect. We're going to go right back to Peter's, and we're going to read that, and then we'll get back to 1 Peter's 2. Watch this. Bishop just quoted that. 1 Peter's 1, verse 2.
1 Peter chapter 1, Bishop?
1 Peter's chapter 1, verse 2.
Yes, sir. 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 2. Elect, according to the foreknowledge of God the Father, through sanctification of the Spirit unto obedience.
Okay, through the sanctification of the Spirit, you have the desire to have your spirit sanctified, to be cleansed. Read on.
Through sanctification of the Spirit unto obedience.
Unto what?
Unto obedience.
So you want to know how to grow this? You have to sanctify your spirit unto obedience. We are lawless people. People don't come together, and you got some people who just don't want to get right. Captain can't get right, don't want to change. Do not want to change. Unto obedience, read on.
And sprinkling of the blood of Jesus Christ. Grace unto you, and peace be multiplied.
Look what it says. Grace unto you, and peace be multiplied. When something multiplied, what is he saying? It's growing. But watch what the next verse say. Look.
Verse 3. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, which according to his abundant mercy have begotten us again unto a lively hope.
Unto a what?
Unto a lively hope, by the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead.
And that lively hope is what's supposed to drive you. That Christ coming back from the dead, especially back then, them hearing about it, learning about it, it's supposed to solidify in your mind, okay, I'm the elect. I understand this hope I have in the resurrection of Christ. Now go back to chapter 2.
Yes, sir.
What verse? That was verse 5?
Yes, sir. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 5. Ye also, as lively stones.
Now, you're lively stones. Why? Because of that lively hope that we read about, that elect. You are lively. You know what it means to be a lively stone? The Spirit is working free course through you in understanding the building back. You're going to put your brick in. So let's take the flip side. Let's just say you was a dead stone, right? There's no life in you. I mean, the laws are not governing you. Can this kingdom be built? No, it's going to fall to ruin. This stuff is very elementary. This is not some deep breakdown stuff. You just got to adjust your mind. Why did I hear that feedback? Okay. Whoever phone is it, turn it off. Oh, okay. Thank you. Threw me off. Verse 5 again.
Yes, sir. 1 Peter 2 and 5. Ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house and holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifice acceptable to God by Jesus Christ.
So ye also as a lively stone are built up a spiritual house. Here's the thing. Here's the word I wanted. You're building up a spiritual house. As a lively stone, you are putting your brick into building up the spiritual house. Read on.
Verse 6.
No. Finish 5 again.
Verse 5. Yes, sir. Ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house and holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifice.
As a holy priesthood, what is the priest's job to do? To bring the people unto obedience. That's what this whole thing is about. So when you see problems happen in the body a lot of time, somebody don't want to be brought under obedience. And that's our job. Read on.
And holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifice acceptable to God by Jesus Christ.
And that's our lives. Read on.
Verse 6, wherefore it is contained in the scripture, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believeth on him shall not be confounded.
So when it says wherefore also it is contained in the scriptures, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone. We know that cornerstone is Christ. He is the foundation in which we build upon all things. And that's why I said in the beginning of what we see now has turned into Christ's kingdom being built on earth. The first thing Bishop was always hard on is, listen, you don't want to hear nothing about don't believe on Christ and these commandments. And we came out of a time where we built other schools. We came out of a different congregation at one time. And we watched how it fell apart. Why? The laws of God was not being implemented. It came to naught. So here, we understand that. So whenever tribulations come and things come, you don't worry. You know it's for a season. You have to endure through it and grow through it. Now watch this. Read on.
Yes, sir. Verse 7. Unto you, therefore, which believe, he is precious. But unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner.
You know what is to disallow him is to think that he's not important. The application of the laws are not important because Christ is the word. Oh, you're striving. Let me ask you a question. I'm being just straight up talk. Do you really believe that you can build a congregation and build back Christ's government if leadership or brothers are going to strip clubs? Come on, man. Come on, man. You think it could be built if brothers passing sisters around the congregation? She was his wife 6 months ago. Next 3 years, that's that brother's wife. He gave a bill of divorcement. The kids is, come on, man. They disallow the laws of God. You will not build back the kingdom like that. How are you going to, you're still in ashes. How are you going to rise up out of that? Deep? Good.
Yeah, that's why it's a spiritual house, because it's an element. Mm-hmm. People don't understand God deal with the element. If it's outside the element of God, it's not going to work. You know what I mean? Like you just said, you're in a stripper club, you're trying to build a spiritual thing. It doesn't going to work. It cannot be work because it's against the element. It's against what God trying to establish on earth. Go ahead.
Yeah, watch this. Okay. We're going to come back here. I want to go back because I don't want to get too far. Go back to 1 Corinthians.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I'm going to share a little bit with you concerning this building back. Watch this. Corinthians 3, wise master builder. Okay, verse 11.
Yes, sir. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 11. For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Jesus Christ. Now, if any man build upon this foundation, gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, stubble.
Look what it says. If any man build upon this foundation, which is Christ, he builds gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, stubble. Why do you think it gives you those analogies concerning it? Who wants to try? Help me understand that. Somebody, there's nobody? All right here, somebody pass the mic, I'm sorry.
Shalom leadership, going into honor and dishonor. The gold, the silver, and so on going into the honor, and wood and the stubble into dishonor.
Okay, when they build upon with gold and silver, what are those materials? Just say it. It's precious material, right? Okay, and the wood, hay, stubble, or what? Right, they're not going to last, right? So watch this. If Christ we just read, I'm going to read it, you don't have to go there, in 1 Peter 2, verse 7. Unto you therefore which believe he is precious, but unto them which be disobedient, the stone which the builders disallowed, the same is made the head of the corner. So it says, unto you who believe he is precious. If Christ is precious, right, what are you going to build upon that? Gold, silver, precious stones. You're not going to put hay and stubble on top of it, right? So what is that saying? You're going to mimic what he's doing. You're just going to follow the blueprint. We be thinking too much. Just follow what he does. Whatever you read in the scriptures he did, do. What he said don't do, don't do. Here's some attributes of Christ in his time. He was not partial in the laws of God. He traveled and taught this word in season, out of season. And I see that a lot. I see the attributes in a lot of you men here. Ready for the word, ready to do the word. Not partial in judgment. Those are simple signs on if you want to build, just follow the blueprint. So let's go back real quick. In Corinthians, it says in verse 12, now if any man build upon this foundation gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, stubble. Verse 13.
Verse 13, every man's work shall be made manifest.
Stop. Now, you in Christ. He said, if you build upon this, everybody's work is going to be made manifest. We're going to find out who we are. And this goes for everybody in here. Everybody listening, if you think you're building, he's going to try to see if it's something that can hold up what's being built. So Bishop began to pull it in Sirach 2. You'll be prepared for when it's coming. You're going to be tried. So if the foundation laid is Christ and you building upon it, and it's hay, I'm going to tell you something. This scripture hit homes for me. Because a lot of them Negroes was hay and stubble. Them niggas burnt up. We're going to read on. They didn't have what it took to endure. Do this. Instead of growing and growing in this truth as lively stones, they became ash. Their memory is being forgotten. There's people right now listening don't even know who the hell we talking about. They don't know who they are. Who about video? He was what? Come on, we got video things. You know, teacher. Who they don't even know rap. We got the Juville. All these guys. They don't even know who these people are. Damn, that sucks. That sucks. Damn. Okay, so what verse we left off of?
No,
okay, verse 13.
Yes, sir. Every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is.
And you know, when I heard that scripture, it was Bishop and teaching. I think Laba was talking to. I was home. I was listening to it. And it made me think about my walk, about what example am I living, am I leading, as far as being a wise master builder? Am I preparing the men properly to endure through this? So I wasn't really too much thinking about, I was thinking about myself, making my call and election sure. How do I perfect my walk? I want to be that lively stone that I say. I want to desire the sincere milk of the word. So how do I fix myself to be that? And all you men better have that same mind. How do you become the best version of yourself to serve God? Or you will not rise up out of this. When tribulation comes, persecution comes, I'm telling you something, man, it's the same thing over and over. Leadership, they just sit back and they just watch. They're just waiting. They want to see, are you going to fold? Are you going to make excuses? Are you going to get upset? Are you going to take it? Are you going to pull away? It's the same thing. I'm telling you all, it's the same thing. And they know in time, it's going to tell us who you are.
Hey, Bishop, can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we just read that the fire gonna reveal what you are, whether you are the gold, whether you are the hay, the stubble. But the fire, that's gonna reveal what you are. Now let me show you all some. Some fire came out here in Austin, Texas. You understand? The fire came out here, man. And guess what? You brothers that remain, you are that gold. You are that silver. You understand? The brothers and them that's disappear into nothinglessness that left, they thought they were the goal. They thought they were the builder. You understand? But where are they now? Where are they now? They were the hay and the stubble. That's why you ain't hearing nothing about them. That's why they cannot build or duplicate what is being done right here. You understand? You know what the Mosai did? The Mosai said, listen, I could rise up stones to do my job. So you brothers that, in your mind, you thinking, oh, I'm just a regular guy. The Lord said, no, I'm going to use you. You're going to rise up and fill this person's position. You understand? So you brothers that endure that fire that came out here in Austin, you are that precious stone, man. You understand? You clap your hand for yourself, man. All you brothers that survived them evil Negroes. You understand? I was talking to Bishop Kanai last night, and he said, listen, one thing we all got to realize is that in time, God going to reveal everything. You think you right? You understand? In time, the Most High going to reveal it. You know, for real.
Lobby, gonna say something.
Yeah, you know, you just asked a question, Deacon Malachi, right? You say, where these guys at? I know where they're at. They're still sitting in a dirty couch. Same dirty couch. God called them 2 years ago, 4 years ago. They went to sit back in the dirty couch. They're still trying to watch us, trying to find something wrong with us. But they cannot build nothing spiritual because you've been revealed by the Lord that you are a carnal man. Carnal, you cannot build nothing spiritual, bro. That's why you left the spirit, think you can build something else. No, you cannot build nothing else. Now you by yourself now. Satan got you locked now. Because all you have to do is just like humble yourself, repent. I mean, every man will make a mistake. But at the end of the day, don't try to destroy what God trying to build. You yourself fighting daily, struggle. But there you go, God trying to build something good. Then you trying to destroy that? That's the wrong spirit to even deal with. You understand?
Dick, you gonna say something?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been waiting for an opportunity, kind of see if I can segue what I want to say in here. Thank you, Lava, for opening the door. Let me tell y'all something, man. 3 years ago, Bishop, we sat here, and I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I have never seen the level of treachery that I've seen here in Austin in all my years in the truth. And it ain't a long time compared to these men here. But since I've been in the truth, I've never seen the snakes that left up out of here and the stuff that they was doing, y'all. Let me tell you, you brothers, where you Austin brothers at? Listen to me. They looked at y'all like y'all were the undesirables. They looked at you as though these men, we're going to leave and all of this here is going to fall apart. It's all going to decay. These men can't carry this thing on. Let's leave and force them to do what we want to do. You men stood up and you showed the world. I remember seeing the memes going out, all that stuff, holding the line, Austin strong. I seen it. You men stood up, you came together, and you showed the world that you will not be shaken nor broken, especially by some weak men. Is that the word? Is that the word they were? Niggas. I'm telling y'all right now. Can I read something real quick, Bishop? Come on. Give me Sirach 27. These men that were here, women too, were supposed to be your family. Every time they seen you, they prayed for you. Shalom. May the Most High in the name of Christ bless you. They watched your children. They cared for your kids. You cared for theirs. And when in a moment, they were able to turn it off and switch on you. What does that let you know? What was it in the first place? Was there really any love there? Hell no. The level of treachery I have never seen from a person who called himself my brother. I've never seen. That thing right here, that had to have been created right here in Austin. That's a new creation in the earth. It says, read that real quick. I want to show y'all something real fast, and I'll pass it.
Where we at?
I'm coming back. We're going to spread this out because I got a whole lot to say today. Read that. Sirach 27:22, please.
Yes, sir. Sirach chapter 27, verse 22.
Read.
He that winketh with the eyes worketh evil.
You know when someone winks, a wink is a sign of like personal closeness. This between me and you. We family, right? You get it, I get it. We got a connection. That person that's supposed to be close to you says, he that winketh the eyes worketh evil. Here it is in the back of his mind. He's trying to destroy you, but he playing the role like he's your family, like he's your brother.
I'm gonna prove that point. You just give it to me.
Yes, sir, I got you. Read on.
Yes, sir. He that winketh with the eyes worketh evil.
Uh-huh.
And he that knoweth him will depart from him.
And that man, when you know that this nigga's real evil, you'll leave him alone. But watch this. Read on.
Verse 23.
Read.
When thou art present,
when he's around you,
he will speak sweetly.
Oh, man. Hey, shalom, Bishop, Most High Christ bless you, my teacher, spiritual father. Double honors unto the elders, right? Read on.
And will admire thy words.
Come on. He will admire your words. Yeah, this is who I learned under. Much respect, much honor. Go ahead.
But at the last, he will writ his mouth and slander thy sayings.
But at the end of the day, he's looking for a way to supplant you, to destroy you. Because why? He's jealous of you. We literally watched a man who wanted to be Bishop Kanai sit right here in front of us. I'm going to call it how it is. I ain't going to sugarcoat it. Man wants to be you. He inspires to have everything that you have that he wants to take away from you so that he can have his. What type of nigga is that? Read on.
Verse 24. I have hated many things.
Come on.
But nothing like him.
I have hated many things, but nothing like him. Come on.
For the Lord will hate him.
Even God will hate a man like that. Snake. Straight demon. This is what I see. These spirits was here. I used to tell Bishop, I'm scared of Austin. Scared. I ain't never seen niggas like this. I'm sorry, the N-word. Let me back up. I ain't never seen spirits like this. All praises be to the Most High God for endurance, for the tribulation, for the fire to reveal these people amongst us so we can get rid of them. Go ahead, Bishop. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm coming back.
I know you're going to come back. I just wanted, there was a part that you mentioned about, do you think that these guys loved you? Because they were pretending to be your brothers, pretending to be leaders to the flock and all of that. And you would think that, yeah, these are my brothers. They got my back. But as soon as they could not get their way, what did they seek to do? To destroy the entire congregation. Now, I want to make it, because y'all might not be following me in the point that I'm making. How many, without giving an exact number, because I don't, we never reveal that, but how many congregations do IUIC have? Let's say over 50. Let's just throw that number out there, right? Within that number, how many people do you think have repented of dope selling? Robbery, different ailments that they had, were on drugs, terrible, destroyed lives. And they got themselves fixed when they came through these doors. Hundreds, thousands of people whose lives are much better now that they've come and got themselves right underneath the leadership that taught them the scriptures that built their lives up. If you're going to claim that you love the nation of Israel, why in the world would you want to destroy the vessel that helped these brothers and sisters? These niggas make me sick with that BS. But I was quiet because they spoke evil about everybody. I just leaned back and, like I said, they 15 cents worth of niggas. I've seen real treachery back at One West. These niggas ain't on that level. But they think they are. And the Most High going to deal with them. I'll leave it there. Y'all all right? All right.
Hey, Bishop.
I'm going to lean back.
Bishop, when you look at Austin 2 years ago, what's that snake named Uzziah? That was his snake.
last night we was talking about, I know Bishop probably going to bring it out. We was talking about government. Government. Government is something that Negroes will never understand. A lot of us will not understand how government work. Some of you was in the military. In a government, there is something called order. There's something called order. Even in Esau government, when you get caught in what you can just call it betrayal, treason, they put you under the jail and throw away the key. That's why I say you guys don't understand government. When you go back, way back with Moses, you remember the 200 something elders that betrayed Moses? Do you guys remember what the judgment was for them? Exactly. So that's why I said, us today, in these times, we don't understand what government is. Just like we didn't understand in Moses' time, we still don't understand it today. How Mossad guys set up a government. And when Mossad guys set up that government, some of you thinking you leaving, you can start your own government. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't, there's no scripture that can back that down. There's no scripture that said, if that camp is not right, if somebody committed sin, you can leave, go to another camp. That's not in the Bible. What happened 2 years ago, you know what these brothers thinking? Nobody can repent. They actually think what happened was, like, if I make a mistake, I cannot repent. That's what they're thinking. That Christ said all manner of sin. That's what Christ said. Christ said that. So that when you take that in your hand, you say no, that means you don't believe in the Bible. A government work in order. We are men, we are going to make mistakes. But what I'm saying to you guys is, I know Bishop going to go through it. Government work in order. Government work in order. You cannot leave. It's like you say, oh, I'm a senator in the United States government. I'm going to leave. I'm going to start my own government in the U.S. That makes no sense. I'm going to leave this army. I'm going to start my own army. That makes no sense.
No. They didn't want to. They didn't just want to leave. They wanted to destroy this.
Yeah. You cannot come and destroy the government. I'm going to destroy this government because I don't like it what you guys doing here. I'm going to start my own government. It doesn't. They tried with Moses. It don't work. They tried under Moses and it don't work. And John don't think he's going to work in IUIC. It don't work like that. I was watching one of interview with that nigga Uzziah, black hacker, and they said, oh, we're not going to stop until we want to train on IUIC. Your niggas is crazy. You're actually crazy.
So wait a minute, Deacon, again, let's say the train went through and destroyed. It was to my point that I was saying earlier.
Uh-huh.
What happened to all of these brothers and sisters that got their lives together? What happened to them?
They destroyed them.
That means he didn't give an F about them.
No,
That's
they
the point.
don't care about
That's
them.
my point.
I brought it earlier.
He didn't give a damn about none
what
of you
Christ
brothers
said?
and sisters. That's
Bishop,
what that means.
I just want to make about the little one. Christ said, if you offend the little one, you might as well kill yourself. That's what Christ said. Some of you niggas need to kill yourselves. Listen, I know some of you right now, you emotional. Oh, he said kill. Yes, I said it. I didn't say it. Christ said kill yourself. Christ didn't tell Judas Iscariot, come back to my house, let's have dinner. Christ told Judas Iscariot, kill yourself. Some of you need to kill yourselves. Just go somewhere and die.
Right. I'm going to let Bishop take his class back. But listen, the only point that I was trying to make was that. Wait, Bishop.
Hey,
I'm going to give it to you,
Bishop, you're getting hijacked today.
Yeah, no. We're going to give it to him. I'm not going to let that happen. You're going to get it, Bishop. You're going to get it. Listen, the only point that I wanted to prove was to make the point, especially what Deacon Abiel brought up about you young men and women that survived that mess. God had his hand on you. He showed favor to you because like he pointed out, y'all were babes, literally babes when this thing went down. And y'all were supposed to have been destroyed first. But the so-called seasoned ones got deceived by their own demons, by their own lusts. And you rose above the ashes and held it together. That is commendable. That is a true testament that the Most High definitely deals with the righteous. Okay? So if you're trying to destroy this, you're basically telling the whole planet Earth Anybody that sees the actions and the steps that you went through, the setups, the lies, the videos, all of that to destroy the people's faith, to send them back out into the world, back to be dealing with dope, prostitution, whoremongering, fornication, and all of that. You wouldn't have said nothing. Think about people that fell out. How come nobody's looking for them? Think about that. That's what I'm saying. It's easy to see, especially when you've been in this for years. All of the years, I'm just speaking about myself, all of the years that I've seen when people came up and tried to subvert whole houses and did. And those brothers and sisters that were once trying to get their lives together, they're back out into the world 100% full-fledged demons. And ain't none of them nookers is looking for them. None of them. Because it was never about them. That's the point that I want y'all to see. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Now, I ain't going to get carried away. I'm not doing that. I just wanted to just put those points out there. And I'm going to lean back.
Yeah, there is a there is a video in the chamber play.
No.
I'm hearing lots. I've been having my phone off. I ain't been taking no calls and whatnot, so it's a lot going on. I'm waiting for my brother to jump on here real quick, and then hey, Shalom. It's a Dr. Shalom. Wait for my brother to jump on here real quick. Just in case y'all didn't know, I'm about to share some information with y'all. You know, we've been getting lied to a lot. Some of you are ex-members of Israel United in Christ, and some of you have just been watching them for a little while and whatnot. It's a lot that's been going on in that congregation, a lot for years, and it's starting to bubble to the surface. The Most High is shaking the tree up. The brother Nathaniel, the king of the organization. I'll say that because the way
Hold there for a second. Yeah, you see the spirit, now he's the brother Nathaniel. He's a brother Nathaniel. That's how you see spirit change, man. And that brother alone is showing you the spirit left him. Now he's a brother Nathaniel. Brother Nathaniel. Play that tape, man.
Gotta be a king.
Today's your guys' days, man. Who you think you could destroy this thing? Today's your days.
But Nathaniel, I'm gonna tell you, brother, if you watch this video, which I'm sure you will, somebody gonna tag you in it because y'all watch everything that I do. Y'all try to say that y'all don't. The Most High's judging that whole thing. You gotta see it, brother. Most High's judging it. You said it yourself, Nathaniel. There is a God. And if you ask, if he like, oh, they living on Facebook. Well, y'all put this stuff out openly, so it's gonna come out openly. So they try to play on your, they try to play on your emotions. Like, see, he's living it out on Facebook. He's playing his life out on Facebook. Nah, this is how we all communicate with each other. Hey, shalom, Judith. So that is what it is. You're just trying to run from this stuff now. But God's judging you. God's judging you. Just so y'all know. Everybody, all the leadership in Austin, Texas, left IUIC. Y'all don't know it because they ain't gonna say it openly. All the leadership in Austin, Texas, over 19 people and counting, left IUIC. Why? Because they found out there was some lies was told concerning the judgment that happened with me and Marsha Rockler. That those two witnesses were coerced by Kanai to say what they said in the manner that they said it.
Stop. You know, I'm telling you, stop listening to crackhead. Listen, man, I'm telling you, I've come from the 80s. One thing I know in the street, do not take a crackhead word. A crackhead will sell you VCR, he will put it in his pocket. Somehow he will get it to fit in his pocket, and he's right there. Listen, listen, I'm going to show you how do not listen to a crackhead. How many brothers here did not leave when that thing happened?
Yeah.
Remember what he just said? He said everybody left. Listen, you guys go ahead. Listen to a crackhead. Go ahead. Because listen, in my life, I never see a crackhead tell the truth. I'm telling you, go ahead, listen to him.
Let me say, before you play it, I do want to say something. I want to read a scripture to you real quick, because some of you who's listening may not fully get the gravity of what's being said. And while we're talking about this, because we are rededicating IUIC Austin back to the Most High, and 3 years later, we right back. Hey, we go. When I say right back, we're right back stronger, bigger, more obedient to God. But real quick, Matthew 7 real quick, and then we're going to come back to that video.
Yes,
Matthew 7, verse 20. So listen, don't listen to me. Don't listen to him. Some of you don't know. You wasn't here to know. But God's word is always true, right? Yes, sir. All right, play. I read it. Read this.
Yes, sir. Matthew chapter 7, verse 20. Wherefore, by their fruits shall ye know them.
By their fruits. So guess what? I don't care if you blind or nothing, you can't see, you can't talk, but if you pick a apple from an apple tree and you bite it and it tastes like an apple, you know that's an apple tree, right? Or if you grab orange from an orange tree and you bite it, you know it's an orange. It ain't an apple tree, it's an orange, right? So you'll know anybody by their fruits. You'll know a man, woman, or child, whoever, by their understanding and application of the laws. All you got to do is listen. They're going to tell you. Watch their actions. The scripture says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh, right? That's what the scripture says. You should know them by their fruits, right? All right, good. Throw up the picture. That was 2021.
That's like a month ago.
What month?
That's who you're left over.
Y'all crazy.
That's who you left behind.
Y'all lost your mind.
For those of y'all that was deceived, y'all heard what he said, right? He said a lot of the leadership, they left because of the judgment that was brought on him. That's why Uriah left, Bezalel, all of them. You understand? That's why all of them left. It's also wrong than him. That's who they left behind. You understand what I'm saying?
Now watch this. Watch this. Again, this is not my narrative, anybody's narrative. This is what we read the scriptures, we watch the actions, right? Okay, I'm going to show you something in the scriptures.
Bishop.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm sorry. Put that picture back up. Put that picture back up.
Hey,
this is about accountability. I'm going to keep it all the way 100. I want to read something real quick because I need y'all to remember when judgment came out, there was some of you, which I don't know, I think they may all be gone by now, but there was a lot of people amongst us who didn't understand the Bible, who didn't believe enough to help this brother. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 6. It says...
Hold on. Let everybody get there what you think. Don't pull the trigger. Give us a second.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 6.
Yes, sir.
The judgment came out. This nigga was put out. He was put out so that he could be ashamed of himself and his man wife. So he could be ashamed of what he did, of his actions, get his mind right, and return back to the body, which requires what? The congregation to inflict this. But some of you all didn't believe enough. Some of y'all had his persons in mind instead of the Bible in mind, and y'all helped this. This is where he went to, y'all. Read that.
Yes, sir. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 6.
Read.
Sufficient to such a man is the punishment which was inflicted of many.
The punishment which was afflicted of many. When someone is put out, and I'm telling you right now, there's some of you right now, you simple as hell. You still don't understand. I don't care what excuses the niggas made that's gone up out of here and says, you know, you don't have to stop talking to him. The Bible says leave him alone. Right. Let him be ashamed. So that what? He could get his mind right so he'll return. But you enablers out here, Those of you all that are cheerleading, hype, oh, you still the great mother, I love your teachings. A lot of you sisters was doing that. Watching a damn soap opera in the morning. Picking up this Negro's head, and now look at him. My man got a whole blunt laced with crack inside, and you still here. It's inflicted of many. This is why we got to move like a body so that a brother don't go to this length. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
A lot of y'all was confused. Who's right? Who's wrong? You know, as I said this earlier, one thing gonna tell who was right and who was wrong, it's time. Time gonna tell. You understand?
So watch this real quick. I want to read something to you. We're going to go back to the video. This ain't nothing new. Watch this. First Maccabees, chapter 3. Watch this real quick. First Maccabees 3. What did I write down? Let's read verse 4.
Yes, sir. First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 4. In his acts, he was like a lion.
First Maccabees 3?
First Maccabees 3, verse 4, yes, sir. Or second Maccabees, which one?
Let me see. Yeah, second, I'm sorry.
Okay, yes, sir. Second Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 4. But one Simon of the tribe of Benjamin, who was made governor of the temple, fell out with the high priest about disorder in the city. And when he could not overcome Onias, he gat him to Apollonius, the son of Thrasius, who then was governor of Colasyria and Phenice.
Okay, stop. So the reason I'm reading this for, you had the priest and you had a Benjamite by the name of Simon, who they had a disagreement. And because he could not overcome him in a disagreement, he went to the white man to destroy all that Israel have. And I'm sad to say, brothers had a disagreement with me. But what they want to do was destroy all of you. Destroy Christ's kingdom, which he's building. I'm trying to come back to it eventually. He's trying to destroy all this. That's not nobody who loves you. You got an art with a brother, that's between you and the brother. Why would you think of the mentality? You would try to destroy this and send all these young souls where? Back into the world? Now maybe it's me and I'm making it up and that's how I feel because everybody has their rendition of the truth in their mind. But you shall know them by their what? Which blunt you see me smoking? Since when you ever heard me teach that? Show me the class. Show me the class on multiple wives that I taught that you can have multiple wives. Men who've been around me for years. Tell me when have I sat down with you and told you that? Watch this. We're going to stay in Maccabees. I want to go a couple chapters over. Chapter 5. And watch what it says here. Verse 5.
Verse 5. Second Maccabees chapter 5, verse 5. Now when there was gone forth a false rumor, as though Antiochus had been dead, Jason took at the least 1,000 men, and suddenly made an assault upon the city. And they that were upon the walls being put back, and the city at length taken, Menelaus fled into the castle.
Watch this.
But Jason slew his own citizens without mercy, not considering that to get the day of them of his own nation.
What? To what?
Not considering that to get the day of them of his own nation.
Read on.
Would be a most unhappy day for him, but thinking they had been his enemies and not his countrymen whom he conquered.
Read on.
Howbeit, for all this he obtained not the principality, but at the last received shame for the reward of his treason, and fled again into the country of the Ammonites.
You understand how Jason so bad wanted to be the man that when he saw the opportunity and thinking now he can make a move, he killed his own countrymen. You know those actions that these men took. Bezalel, Uzziah, Judah. I wouldn't even name the other guy, the man wife. I mean, he's not. But those men. Do you understand that you are help destroy men's families? There's brothers out there right now that's gone that we know personally that's out there and said that we've been gone for the last few years and we're doing nothing. We're not doing it. Their children, that we're not doing anything. Don't care. You know you're going to answer to God for it. I pray you men repent and get you. You better repent because God's going to deal with y'all. But anyway, that make no never mind here because here we all right. Stay within the circle. This is the power. Keep the commandments. We got problems. We stay in the house. We fix our problems. But the one thing you don't do, you don't undermine to cause treason, to destroy your own people. Listen, what manner of hatred was it towards me that he would try to destroy all of y'all? Or did he try to take down everything that's being built? And guess what? If all this ain't right, who's the one to destroy this? God, ain't no man. We all move in sin, and we talking about like you think you're going to destroy this? But we will rise out of these ashes. I'll tell you, I commend you, men of Austin. I commend you, but I don't give you that much because you got some more proving to do over the span of your life in this truth because there's going to be other battles that's going to come. And it's going to reveal all of us of who we are. So just take your pace.
Bishop, don't move from that scripture. What that scripture right here, remember he said, this guy killed his own people because he want to be the man so bad. Just like Uzziah, just like Judah Mac. But let's talk about Judah Mac. Remember when this thing first started, I told you guys it was about money. It was about money. He didn't care about the people. How do you know that? Because he come with bunch of new doctrine. Even himself do not follow those doctrine. It was about money. Those of you who don't know, he ran to Georgia. Why? After Kazalakia for money. When he found out the guy who have no money don't want to give him money, he ran back to Texas. It was about money. That's the same thing Jason did here in this scripture. It's all about power, money. That's what he wanted. That's what he wanted. And in the midst of it, he didn't care about none of you. He destroyed many spirits. This would destroy at least 100 people. He destroyed many spirits. And his mind right now, he's thinking get away with it. There is a judgment for that. Christ tell you, those who offend the Lord, there's a judgment for that. His judgment is coming. Right. There's a judgment for that.
So right. I'm sorry, you got that? You said it? Okay, good. Let's get deep.
Right, and what been happening these last couple months, a lot of brothers and sisters reaching out to us and saying they sorry that left behind Weasel, Uzziah. A lot of people reaching out with us. They're like, yo, we with these guys and the spirit is not with them. And they leaving y'all. You understand? Because a lot of y'all think y'all could do what we are doing here in our UIC. But the people is coming and saying the spirit is not with these guys. You understand? People is coming that left the powder here is coming back and yo, we want to come back into the fold. You know, but with you all, it's gonna take time. You're gonna gotta stay online and you're gonna have to watch and learn and prove yourself online for now.
Support from home.
Exactly. Right. Support from home. You understand? Because that treachery stuff, it's not simple, man. Okay, so y'all could support online. We forgive you all. Y'all come and ask for forgiveness. Those of y'all that came and is a lot of them, man. And we like, how should we deal with these dudes? A lot of them want to come back. Okay, we had a council. Okay, you all learn online and prove yourself online. You understand? Y'all do that for now, man. Hey, but that's just show you these dudes is not real leaders. They are hirelings. Hirelings lead the flock and destroy the flock. You understand? That's what these men did with a lot of you brothers and sisters and you all out there in the world. Some people ain't even came back and asked for help, man. Right. Some people are just out there in the world destroyed because of all of these evil Negroes that rose up against us in 2018. From the Chinese boy, Weasel, all of them, all the way down. Okay?
Hey, And when I say this, I'm going to tell y'all right now, especially you camp leaders, y'all going to bear record with this thing. As I got reports of individuals that was, leaving from certain schools, something that all of them all had in common? They all had a backstory. Whether they was a backbiter, whether they were a murmurer. It was never somebody that was, oh, that's a sincere brother right there. Man, he's just confused. It was always somebody who had issues. Brothers and sisters, don't be scared when the tree get to shaking. Sometimes we got to get that bad fruit up off of us so we can grow more, so we can expand more. Sometimes you got to shake them dead branches up off of us so we can expand.
Hey, and I want to, Deacon, you finished? You finished?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I do want to say this real quick, and I want to get back to some of this lesson. We got some stuff to show, but here's what I want to say to you is that all this happened for a reason. It was meant to happen. It was meant to expose because there was major growth coming to IUIC. And if we are where we're now and these men did what they did now, it would have caused more damage. Guys, it's time to remove. There's a purging right now. After that happened, people came. They came. They wasn't fooled by that. You might have caught a few of them, and those are the ones that you were supposed to catch. But the ones that stayed steadfast, continue to work. And I tell you, these men that's here, I want to get back to the scriptures, they hit the streets. They did the work. They bought into the system. And the fruits of it is that you men come to celebrate and worship the Most High on this day. Because I'm talking about it because this is a time to rededicate this school to the Most High. And it's befitting that it's the Feast of Dedication. All right, real quick. So, for you don't know no narrative, and I'm going to get to Westham in a second. You got that video at my house, the house I used to be in? Huh? Yes. It's going to be a bloody massacre. You got it?
It's the one I sent you, Officer Get Alive.
I'm showing you how much hatred is. You're going to see. Now, here's the thing. I'm about to say something, and only people, hold it before you play it, only people that have known me more than 10 years can really say yay or nay. Some of you guys don't know nothing about me. Which one of you ever know me that I don't work? Who know me ever not work? Who ever seen me some bum, beg, whatever? Ain't nobody ever seen me like that. So the narrative that was played out online was false. But I just knew at the end of the day, I used to pray to the Lord, just don't take my understanding, Father. Let me keep my mind right. Don't let this affect me to the point that I forget thy precepts. Render not evil for evil. Let's see the evil.
Hey, shalom, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hey, check it out. Hey, we got the family back together. We got Judah.
That's in front of where I used to live.
Yakin. We got the House of Kosh. Shanat. We got some IUIC brothers over there.
See how they laughing, right?
And we got some more brothers down the way.
Now, what you see there, stop, pause it for a second. What you see there is you see my furniture on the street. Why? The disturbing part about it is because they said I stole their furniture. I want to tell you something. All those men that's out there, except that man-woman guy talking, they was there and they moved the furniture into the house. It wasn't like they were guessing. Their hands actually lifted it and put it into the original house I was in. When I moved to Texas, I left where I was living in Florida, and I had furniture. I had everything that I needed. I was fine. I didn't need anything there. I was all right. It wasn't the best, but it was mine. My wife been married to me by the grace of Most High. She ain't never worked a day in her life while she's married to me. My wife never had to work. I've always taken care of mine. But anyway, so speed up. I left Florida to come to Texas. Kozlakia, Ryan Pickett, he begged me, and listen, what I'm about to say, may God be my witness if I'm testifying anything false. May he deal with me. He begged me, yo, listen, you do me a favor. I have so much furniture in storage units all around the country. I'm spending thousands of dollars a month on storage fees. I need to get rid of this stuff, man. He said, just leave all that stuff. I got brand new stuff that I never use. I need to get rid of it. And there's people in here who could testify the same stories that they heard. So I said, all right, I'll take, thank you. They came back. What happened to me with that home was because, you don't know, he was going broke at the time. He was waiting for some money to come through his career. It was a period of time, 3-4 years, where he had to live off what he had until his retirement came in. And he ran through some cash, so he needed cash. So the house that I was in, he was originally going to buy it for me. And I told him no. Again, let God be my witness. I told him no. I said, I don't want that. He said, no, well, this is a gift. I said, nope. I said, I'll rent a place. He said, well, okay, I'll buy this house. You can rent for me. But you know what? The first few years you don't pay rent because we're getting the business started. And, you know, don't worry about it. Now, come on, man. You'll tell me I'm in school, I'm in IUIC Austin with him for 3 years. We traveling, we going to Vegas and all this, and I owe you money, and I never pay you for 36 months, and I'm sitting as a bishop over the congregation, you sitting there, and you just, come on, man. But because his money was bad, he knew that house, he had equity in the house. They said, we're going to jam him up. And it just happened to work at the same time with those other conspirators, Uzziah. And whatever you're trying to build Uzziah, God is going to curse it. You will never amount to shit because you are a slimy bastard. Listen, let me tell you something. Me, I don't say, I just want time to prove. I'm tired of all of them. That dude right there, he's surgical. He working. I'm telling you, nothing's going to grow where you're at. You're a dishonorable, deceitful man. Those men moved that furniture in there. And again, may God be my witness if I testify a lie. Watch this, Jeremiah, real quick, Jeremiah 5. And I'm only talking about this now because we rededicating Austin to the Lord. We good. We're better off than we was before. All you men, captains and whatever you are, nah. These young men that were soldiers and whatever they were members, they was hitting these streets doing the work. Still doing the work. Matthew 5:26. Watch this. Jeremiah 5:26.
Yes, sir. Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 26. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap. They catch men.
You know what they wanted to do for y'all so you can understand? That day when that happened, you know where I was that day? Out, because I was in a bad place. I was out looking for work that morning. They was hoping to catch me home so they can get video and post it to try to play me out in front of people. Jeremiah 20 real quick. Jeremiah 20 verse 10.
Yes, sir.
They was hoping to catch me home so they can have my picture. Laba, send me my photo. Send it, put it up for me real quick. You heard I said? Send it to them real quick. Watch this. This is what they wanted. Yeah, let's go. Come on, send it. I'm dead serious. Send the photo. What I asked for?
Jeremiah 20, verse 10.
Read.
Jeremiah chapter 20, verse 10. For I heard the defaming of many, fear on every side. Report, say they, and we will report it. All my familiars watch for my halting, saying.
I'm telling you something. They want to defame me. All my familiars, those men that sat amongst me, that conspired. Read it.
All my familiars watch for my halting, saying, peradventure he will be enticed, and we shall prevail against him, and we shall take our revenge of him.
They said, we're going to defame him. They want to catch me coming out with handcuffs on so they could smear my picture on it. You know something? They never considered I have children. You never considered, my little kids call some of them uncle, they know them. Let me tell you something, there's stuff I can say, but I would never repeat about Bezalel, stuff that I know that he told me personally, that I got records I would never do that because I believe in God, and God is a just God, and he'll repay punishment. There's things that I know that he's told me that I have records that he's emailed me that will humiliate, but I would never do that. I would never do that. You know why? Because once I called him a friend. I know his children. I know their children. I don't move like that. But watch this real quick. What you gonna say, Deacon?
You know, this is me, listen. This is what ate me with these guys.
Yo, hold on. Wait a second, real quick. This is what they
Let-
wanted. Go ahead.
Uh-huh.
Negro, please. Let's go ahead. Let's post it real quick.
You can post it.
Yeah, put it up. Put up there. Put up there. Still handsome. Damn.
Let me
No,
tell you
that
something, right?
taco meat, that's a little bad. That should have get me right there. Don't laugh, Nehemiah. Don't laugh. But anyway, before you say, Dick, let me finish my thought real quick. I'll let you done. This is what they want. They want to shame me. Do you know that never even went to trial? The grand jury. It didn't even get to the grand jury. What's those have been to prison. What's it before I go to trial? Grand jury, right? Grand jury. Right. Listen, they threw this stuff out. All I just was send text messages to prove that it was lie. That shit got thrown out. It was nonsense. But it doesn't matter. It's the narrative. And not one time in all those years you hear me ever talk about this. I just lay low. You know why? Because I got what I deserved. I got caught up because around evil men I was warned. And I didn't listen. So that each take your punishment. You want to be a snake charmer and then you cry when you get bit? Nah, Negro. You got bit. Take it. But here's the thing. Think of my little daughters and them have to go, damn, how much hatred do you have for a person? How much hatred do you have for a person that you do that? And you know what? Again, when it wouldn't stick, they went after all of y'all to come call. How many of you here ever seen me when this whole's gone calling you down to convince you of what I was? I didn't call nobody. They was calling your phones, like cold calling. You call this, you call Texas, you call London, you call here. Let me tell you what happened. Nah. Christ said he's not going to lose none of his. Who's supposed to go? Bye.
Right. So, Bishop, so you telling me that all these guys know that them furnitures was given to you by that guy?
They lifted it up and carried it into the house. That's why I said, Uzziah, you are evil. You know. Bezalel, you was there. You know. You lifted the furniture.
So it goes back.
You was there. I be just lifting the furniture.
So listen, it goes back to the point that I made earlier. It was really never about Kanai. It was never about any of that because you had proof that it was.
Listen, just text messages. Listen,
so they threw it. So they already knew that from the get-go. In other words, we want to use that because we want to destroy the entire congregation.
And watch this real quick.
And I didn't really get deep into like what you're bringing out now. This is news to me. I didn't see this.
I want to tell you something. And this,
but I knew by that spirit.
And I want to say
that they wanted to destroy the congregation.
This is not my narrative, because I wasn't the only one who got furniture. There's brothers. I got brothers here who testify over there. They got two. It was just me. But let them paint the narrative however they want. Because at the end of the day, you know what? We all gonna stand before God on Judgment Day.
I see people nodding their head. So what you just said is true.
Yeah, this man here, they could speak for themselves. They got two.
So why didn't they go after them initially?
I'm high up on a tree.
There you go. Because if you hit him, you taint the whole. You could take their thought was to subvert the entire congregation. Leadership is wicked. Leadership is this. That was the whole 15-cent.
And then you think you're gonna build a congregation someplace else and remix this? Do you understand building Christ's kingdom with God as the build? You think it's going to work? It doesn't work. You will come. I seen better than you. Try it and come to naught. That's not how this machine works. I'm going to say this so you ought to understand something. In the inception of what you see today, IUIC, giving all praises to God first, Christ always Savior. It was a spirit put on Bishop Nathaniel. It wasn't put upon me, and it wasn't put upon the last brother with us. The Lord used Bishop for his purposes. We all just found this train right now trying to bring this about. And I'm telling you, all ain't close to that man. You not the shit stain in his drawers.
Bishop Kanai.
You ain't even close.
Bishop Kanai.
Bishop, I apologize. I shouldn't have said that.
You know,
I know he's listening right now.
Bishop, I know brothers look at this like
I apologize.
This is not light. This is not a light thing because you got to think about it.
Damn, I shouldn't have said
You got to think about it. These guys been to Bishop house. They eat, they drink,
their kids play with his kids. If they could get away with it, I'm guarantee you they would have killed him and all his kids. Listen, do not put it behind these Negroes. They would have do it. That was for you to go inside a man's house. You take his children bed that they lay their head at night. You open the fridge. You take all the food out on the floor so you can take the fridge. And you call yourself an Israelite? Listen, you the most evil niggas. I'm telling you straight, stuff like that, the most evil niggas. If you can kill him, you would have killed him.
Believe that.
Right.
Play that video. Go back. I'll say, you'll say something?
Right.
Listen, man, all you niggas gonna pay. Uzziah, Bezalel, judgment gonna come to all of you all, the Chinese boy, all of you all, because all of you all is joined together. All of you all work together. You understand? That evil stuff, the white man had to come and say, listen.
Enough.
Listen, enough. This man is innocent. This man did not steal this stuff.
Hey, but
the white man had to step in and say, y'all niggas is evil.
The cop that was there, what you said, the cop was there was like, because I wasn't there. I happened to be out. My wife was calling my daughters. The white man was in there and said, yo, enough, man. Yo, what's wrong? Like, he had enough. And the devil himself was like, whoa, easy, man.
Bishop.
Watch this, play.
Bishop,
Yeah, what you going to say?
They were trying to take a cutlery set. It was a cutlery set that they were trying to take. The white man, the devil himself had to step in and say, that's enough. Y'all just said furniture. Now y'all going after knives and forks and so forth. That's the cruelty of Cain, but the compassion of Caesar. The white man had to step up and say,
so what do you think? What do you think was going through his mind when he saw that, in terms of their disposition against Bishop? Listen to my question. You got Esau there, the white man that's witnessing this. Him being the devil now. He's sitting there watching this, and he sees this happening. What do you think is going through his mind when he sees this, and he's looking at the vehement hatred? Because that's what he sees. He's looking at it, he's saying, this is beyond anything I've ever seen. Yeah. What do you think is going through his mind in terms of what he's seeing about this group? Because he don't know who they are. This group against this man. And he's probably got the records to, and he's saying they're going beyond that.
Yeah, there's a
so
list.
he begins to figure out. He begins to figure out that this has got really nothing to do with this here. This is some abject hatred.
Right.
And Esau saw that. That's a shame. That's really a shame.
You gonna say?
Yes. But your guys understand what's going on. This furniture is used after use. These guys was not getting the furniture to use it. Right after they pick up the furniture, they go dump it in the garbage. Right. Think about it, man. You're not taking it to use it. You taking it, then you go throw it in the garbage. You guys don't see what's going on. But these are the brothers, they're trying to build congregation today.
Right. Hey,
you understand? You think God gonna bless that, brother? Come on, man. You have to do at least 5, 6, 7 tape and plead God. Because guess what, man? You read the scripture, what God said. Whatever you're trying to establish on earth, you cannot go against that, man. You understand? You're trying to bring one man down. Then, like Bishop Yawasab said, your attention was not to bring one man down. Your attention is to destroy many lives.
That's the reason why they lied on the rest of us. They had us in that filthy video.
Right. What they could have done, what they was hoping to do, was to come at me, and when they seen that it wasn't, they said, okay, now we're gonna try Nathaniel. They couldn't get Nathaniel. Now it's arrest everybody. Everybody is wrong. Watch this. I want to play because I want to see this. I want them to see this. I want y'all to see this. This is what happened. Cause I'll be honest with you right now. By the grace, I'm good. I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm all right. The Lord has been merciful with me. Go ahead, play it so y'all can meditate on this.
Some more brothers down the way that was helping us move. As y'all can see, we got this big old Penske truck. We waiting on another one too, right? Yes, sir. Yeah, we waiting on another Penske truck. We at Kanai's house, man. We had to retrieve all of Kashalakia's stuff, man. It was a lot of stuff, as y'all can see, and it took everybody, man. We also got a couple of police cars here. We had a few police cars here, but I think we only got one left, and then we got an undercover one over there. Ozma, shalom, bro. But yeah, man.
You understand the trauma my kids had to go through?
Hey, don't forget the short breath asthma. He just called his name too. That's that dude
Yeah.
out there in Colorado. Asthma. That's another damn demon too. All right.
And his son and them, his son has expressed, yo, we've been gone those years and we're not doing anything. His son expressed, yo, we home doing nothing. I'm gonna tell you brothers that's married that got, I want to finish playing this, but I gotta say this. You brothers that are married with families, that you raising your kids up in these commandments, and you guys, whatever issues, you bug out and you pull your children and wife away from what they've been doing for the last few years, 10 years, man, you hateful. You know what you set your son up to do? You set your son up to go out there in the world and fornicate, stupid. You're forcing your children, your daughters, man. How many people you see ruin? Because you can't humble down? You can't humble down? And I'm saying all this is, only reason I'm speaking about it is because Austin has survived. They thought they were going to make this fold. They thought they had enough power to make a fold and don't realize God's hand is upon it. This ain't even me. This is God. God wants this here. And it's going to stand. Only he going to move it. Let's play the video. Yo, what you want?
Yeah. Just for the record, so everybody knows, Uzziah Jamal, the slick car salesman, he was the one that spearheaded this whole thing. All right? He's the one that came in there acting like Sergeant Slaughter, telling the people what room to go, what to pick up, and what not to get. Uzziah was the ringleader. Just so you know. All right? Go ahead.
Let's play. You know I never watched this in entirety before.
Hey, man, I'm tired. Man. Hey, let me have this for a minute. Hey, check it out. Everything always comes full circle when you are wicked as hell. These brothers done lifted this man
you right
up.
about that.
He done destroyed life after life. A lot of the people that he jacked up are out here
Bishop,
right now.
I'm sorry.
Stop.
sorry.
I don't think, hold on. Before you start, I don't want, this class is going, he said, I have destroyed life after life. With all you men in here, and I'm telling you, be honest, don't lie. Have I destroyed any of your lives? One. Or do you know of somebody's life that I destroyed? This is your time to speak. Let me tell you something. Listen. This shit is comical. This stuff is comical. These dudes is crazy. They are smitten with madness. There's a mental disorder. I'm telling you, read Deuteronomy 20. This dude got some mental issues. That hatred has blinded him. What you gonna say, D?
Even though they didn't tell y'all, they smoked the blunt right up after this. Telling you right now, he was smoking that stuff then. Let me read real quick Sirach 12 and read verse 16. This beyond my understanding. Sirach,
yes, sir.
12, read 16.
Sirach chapter 12, verse 16.
Come on.
An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit.
He speaks sweet with his lips. They amongst us. Like I said, it's all love. It's all family. But in their hearts, they plotting to throw you in a pit. Read on.
He will weep with his eyes.
But
if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
Bishop, they want you dead. They wanted you to die. For you to be able to attack a man's children, his children, you have no hope in you. You have no soul, brother.
Hey, and then they call themselves the true spirit of Christ.
Nah, you
Is
crazy.
that the true spirit of Christ?
You crazy.
Wicked ass Negroes.
Crazy.
Again, hold it. Wait. Again, it wasn't just about Kanai because the purpose of them filming it was to offend all of the little ones in the body. That's
Right.
the real. I'm not fooled. This was not against Kanai. This was against IUIC. This was against brothers and sisters. This was against all of you. That's what this was really about.
And while all this is the manner of warfare that we faced against, here it is, us in leadership, we're viewed as you got to be the bigger person, y'all. Turn the other cheek, look the other way. Just ignore them. But everything else that's happening is war. Some of y'all got to get that spirit up off you. When it's time to fight, it's time to fight. When it's time to swing, it's time to swing. Punch back. Because they're not, like Bishop just said, it's not just coming against Bishop Kanai. They're trying to destroy this body, what's been built, what the Lord has been built.
Tried to set up Bishop Nathaniel. That's how you
that
know.
was the next
Tried
goal.
to set up all of us with lies. The whole idea was to destroy your faith in this gospel.
And you
Because
failed.
Like I said before, think of those. Y'all are telling me now. You're saying that there's people that's out there in the wilderness lost.
Families lost.
How come
children.
they're not going after them? I mean, listen, this is not brain surgery. This is either, like I said, 15-cent nickel and dime stuff. I've seen real treachery.
And I'm gonna tell you something. The ones that parted themselves with Uzziah, who left with him, because Uzziah jumped on this bandwagon with Judah and cautioned them. The ones that left, man, I know y'all kicking yourselves, sitting back there realizing that he hitched himself to this Judah Mac thing, and look what it turned out to be now. And you know, but a lot of them, they're too prideful to even, not one of them have called me and to say sorry. Not one have said anything about it. When the truth came out about, I didn't go to jail. Do you understand that the charges against me, I was facing from 2 to 10 years in prison? You want to leave my wife and children without a father and a husband in the household? The sole breadwinner in the household? That's how much hatred you have that you'll see me in jail? I would never do that to another man.
Yeah,
I couldn't stomach. I was facing 2 to 10 years if I was convicted.
Yeah, but can I bring this scripture?
I want to read the scripture right on there. Hold up, Deacon Laba. Matthew 7 and 12 real quick. Don't nobody lose their point. Nobody lose their point. Matthew 7 and 12.
Yes, sir. Matthew chapter 7, verse 12.
Now, the reason why I'm reading this because we read something earlier in Peter. Give me that in Peter again. What was it? 2 Peter, right? About the disallowed, that part.
Yes, sir. 1 Peter 2.
Then we want this.
1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 7. Yes, sir. First
No,
Peter
I don't think
2.
it was that high. It was like 3 or something, 3 or 4.
Verse 4. Okay. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 4. To whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men.
That's it. The disallowed part. Disallowed. They disallowed Christ. They disallowed his teachings. They disallowed the commandments. That's what this is talking about. They disallowed this. Go ahead.
Disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of God and precious. Ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house.
So the objective was, do they follow Christ? No. Now, Matthew 7 and 12.
Yes, sir. Matthew chapter 7, verse 12. Therefore.
Because the commandments of Christ is what made us lively. They disallowed that because we're rolling with the Spirit of Christ. This is the true Spirit of Christ. Read.
Matthew 7, verse 12. Therefore, all things, whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do you even so to them. For this is the law and the prophets.
So how in the hell are you going to say today about Christ when they niggas didn't do this? They didn't do this at all. Read it again.
Therefore, all things, whatsoever ye would that men should do to you.
The things that you would want people to do to you. Would you want somebody else to do that to your family and your babies? Talk to me. They themselves would not even want that. But yet, they'll do it to you and the family. And the thing is, it wasn't even about you.
Yeah, I could almost stomach it if it was like I did steal it, then it's judgment. But here's the thing. His family, his children, I know them. His wife, I know them. I'd be too ashamed to look them in the face and do something like that. I'd be too, I ain't built like that. I'm not built like that. That's another level of evil that's too wonderful for me to understand.
That's the kind of evil where the white man said, damn, that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's so heavy behind that? Let's read the Matthew 18 and 15. When your brothers decide not to apply what the scripture says, you got destruction just like that. Because all you have to do is apply what the Bible just said. Then you would have been good, brother. Let's read that right quick.
Yes, sir. Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
That's all that brother had to apply. That's it. But because, just like Bishop just said, because the love of Christ is not in you, you're not going to apply what is written here. A lot of your simple brothers, a lot of your simple sisters, guess what? the storm will come again. Then I'm going to look at you straightly to your face. You understand that you're going to bounce out of here the same way.
There were
That's what made me angry. Because
there were women laughing in the background, Deacon. I don't know who they were. There were women in the background on the tape. I didn't mean to cut you off. That's their wives. Okay, so there you go.
Yeah, that's what brothers don't understand, man. You understand? The Lord is giving you the blueprint, how to deal with your brother. The death of Christ is giving us a blueprint to love one another, man. Especially the scripture Bishop just went out. Come on, man. You would not like any man to do that to you. Come on, man. They go on YouTube, you laughing, making joke of a man destroying a man's home. You take pleasure out of that. What you think God gonna do to you? He gonna take pleasure out destroying you too, man.
Right. And also,
come on, man. Repent, man. Keep your mind right, bro.
Right.
And they knew. And they knew the truth. They knew that didn't happen that way. But they said, but the people don't know.
Right.
And if we put the perception out to them,
that's all that matters to them.
That's what matters.
Not truth. Truth don't matter. Justice, integrity, honor, those are not words in their vocabulary. They don't believe in that. Uzziah would carry himself like an articulate man.
Case gets thrown out, don't even go to the DA or nothing. Nobody said nothing.
Nobody could say. And I'm telling you, and you get fooled
crazy.
by being articulate and talking. But real quick, Proverbs 19 and verse 11.
Proverbs chapter 19, verse 11. The discretion of a man deferreth his anger.
The discretion of a man will defer his anger. He would know how to handle himself. He controls himself. Read on.
And it is his glory to pass over a transgression.
And it's his glory to pass over a transgression. I'm going to tell you something. I forgive them. That's on their life. They have to reconcile with God. I'm all right. My understanding has not failed. I'm not going to now come out the spirit and deal wrong with another brother. If I was good with you at one time, I may never deal with you again, but I'm never going to come. That's for you to deal with God with. A righteous man will know how to defer his anger. Because you know what? Again, and time will tell everything. You listen to the classes. I'm talking brothers left. Dead stones, not lively, nothing engaging to wake the people up. All they're doing is regurgitating, and I'm not talking about you, Uzziah, just regurgitating what he heard here. There's no new life in it. There's nothing that's in it that's engaging. You know why? Because it's a spirit put upon you. It ain't like that. You can't just study it like you learn it and then, because that's what he is. He's book smart. He's school smart. So-called. Well, I'm talking about worldly smart. So he can read, learn to mimic, and then come back and regurgitate it. But you can hear the difference in the classes when it comes from people and God is moving you, inspiring you. The words drop differently. It resonates in the people's ears differently. Go ahead, Bishop.
Other people have, those that did those things and looking to get some kind of reward out of it, you got your reward. Now the judgment is going to come. Yeah. So we leave that in the hands of the Lord. But what I want to say real quick, I'm not particularly, brothers that's close to me, they know better. I don't get into this thing with these nickel and dime type of spirits. But where my anger does come is when I see them trying to destroy the young brothers and sisters.
Yep.
Those new spirits. That's what gets under me. That's what gets up under my skin. When you have so much hatred that you'll go after babes that got their lives together. When sisters that was in all kinds of mess, they trying to get themselves together, and you trying to destroy the path to lead them to righteousness. That's a special kind of spirit that needs judgment from God.
Pull them out of here to what?
Yes. They ain't got no plan for that at all. None. And because they never cared.
Hey, and
never cared.
The thing about it too, there was a bunch of wicked Israelite camps that was joining up with these evil Negroes that left up out of Austin camp, that was joining up with them and was speaking much evil. You all got your judgment coming too. That dude, he formed a show based on the whole drama that took place in 2018 inside IUIC. Call it Inside the Nation, but it's inside IUIC really. You understand what I'm saying? Every last one of you all, the fat dude from House of David, every last one of you camp leaders and camps that joined with these evil men and was attacking us, Every last one of you all, your congregation should be watching you all sideways right now. You understand? Because as I tell you all, like we keep saying this, sometimes you're confused who's right and who's wrong. But time will always tell who God is dealing with.
You know why there's so much hatred towards IUIC? Because IUIC represents the tower that witnessed against them. When all of these spirits joined in, they said that they were going, just like the scriptures say, they began to build, and when they couldn't finish, then those that see them began to mock them and say, listen, you trying to speak evil of the tower that you said that you was going to finish, you didn't finish, so now they're looking at you. Now you have to say, no, it's the tower that's wicked. It's the school wicked. IUIC is wicked. Because as long as IUIC is prospering, the people are going to continue to point their finger at you and say, well, if they're so wicked, how come the Lord is still blessing them? Okay. I saw a video in the Bronx where your boy came up, and the girl said, well, how come, what did you do to get kicked out? Because they were trying to speak all kind of evil against IUIC, and the sister's not a part of no camp or nothing.
Right.
She just saw it, and she said she just realized, she said, wait a minute. You basically sound like a disgruntled employee. And when you get fired, you're mad at the whole company. But meanwhile, what did you do to not be in there no more? And the company's continually building and building and building. Brothers, it's the same small nickel and dime stuff.
Yep.
It's no biggie. So that's what, again, y'all hear me talking more now than y'all ever did on this subject because really they're nothing to me. I'm not trying to slander them or say any sly remarks. I really don't give a damn. I really don't because I've seen it too much. I'm an old guy in this truth. I've seen too much mess. I've seen some real treachery. You had the people that turned against Marshall. I was there.
They want to murder him.
They wanted to murder him.
Had guns and all of that.
Guns and all that. I saw that. I sat in that council. So these little nickel and dime niggas ain't nothing to me. I've seen that kind of evil. And where are those lost spirits at now?
Ash. Sirach, adversity. Sirach 2, right? You quoted this earlier, Bishop, right? About adversity.
Yes, sir. Verse
Tribe.
5.
Yeah, Sirach 2. What's the point I wanted? Yeah, verse 5.
Yes, sir. Sirach chapter 2, verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
It says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. You don't know who you are until you're being tried. Everybody's going to be the great warrior who they think they say they are, but until your trial comes, you're not sure. You might have the perception you believe you are, but in that time, just make sure when you're being tried that you are right. And you're not just being judged. You understand what I'm saying? I guess you all don't understand what I mean by that. Okay.
And what y'all had in Austin, because that's the reason why I have a discrepancy with that title, calling them leadership. That wasn't leadership. What happened at One West was the leadership turning against Marshall. That was literally the leadership that turned against Marshall. These dudes weren't nowhere near the level of the leadership here, trying to equate themselves as leaders. That's not the deal. This were the seven that turned against Marshall. That's totally different. So there's no equation there. These just nickel and dime, soft. And I know they're going to try to prove how bad they are by trying to bring up more slander, more videos, more response. We already know this, but I've seen it all before and it ain't going nowhere.
You know, for me, Bishop, after I say my piece, I got a life to kill. I got things to do. This ain't my reality. This ain't my life. I can't spend my days I can't wake up and think about, and this nigga, who does that? No, exactly. Okay, I'm going to say this. I'm going to try to say this. No, because you know my mouth. I'd forget it. But who does that? Which man does that? Or you wake up all day, and that's all you do is talk about it, man. And listen, even throughout the midst of all that, nah, my mind don't think like that. I don't move in that realm of like that. You be caught up. Only women do stuff like that. And gay dudes. I don't know nobody does stuff like that. But let's read this real quick. What's it? I want you to read 5 and 6 together.
Yes, sir. Sirach chapter 2, verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Read.
Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him.
The Lord wants us to trust while you're going through this. And I'll be honest with you, when I was going through it, man, it didn't feel good. It was hard. It was hard not getting to say my piece. It was hard because I wanted to put hands. It was hard just to stomach it. And not so much me, but my children. That's where the thing stung. It was like, damn. But all I can think is that, Kanai, you had these men in your home around you all this time. What was wrong with your discernment? Your spiritual discernment was off. So that's why I said, I don't even look at them. Like, you were Bez with the stuff, the way I was talking. I don't care about that stuff for the fact that I said it. So you put yourself out there. So what, he recorded it. It's your mouth. But damn, that dude was sitting at my table eating my food. I was feeding him. Many of y'all don't know. So when I was going through it real quick, boy, I think it's like freaking pepper seed. That thing burned, boy. I was like, these niggas right here, yo, you guys are wonderful in your evil. I just pray your repentance is twice as much, because the judgment will be befitting. Read on.
Hey, Bishop, you know what that is? That's Corinthians 3 that we was reading early on. That's the further down.
Let's go to this.
Make
your point. Make your point, and if you want to make a point.
Yeah. Are we to go to Corinthians 3 about the fire? The builder, because it says the leader gonna also go through the fire, gonna also be saved by the fire. Meaning, the fire is not just for the brothers and sisters in the congregation. It's gonna happen to the leaders also. Get that and read that for me.
Yes, sir. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 13. Every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire.
It shall be revealed by fire. The fire is that persecution, is that confusion that arises and so forth. Read on.
And the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. If any man's work abide, which he hath built thereupon, he shall receive a reward.
If any man work abide, meaning these men and them out here in Austin, the brothers that got rose up to be captain, they was rose up by Bishop Kanai. You understand? That was his work. He was building these men up in the spirit. You understand? And the fire came, but these men did not endure that fire, showing what kind of vessel they was. Read on.
Verse 15. If any man's work shall be burnt, he shall suffer loss.
He shall suffer loss, meaning the Bishop Kanai suffer loss.
Yep.
You understand? These men and them that he had in his house that was close to him, these traitors, these demons that turned against him and so forth, and took out a lot of weak brothers and sisters that in the congregation, took them out. Bishop Kanai suffer loss. Read on.
Wait, I'm sorry. If you see somebody do something like that to somebody who was your brother, it was my friend, I would have expected this from an enemy, but not my how could y'all really look? How could you trust a spirit like that? I'm talking about those that's following them. If you see them turn against somebody like that, how could you really have faith that they won't do it to you?
They just hate IUIC. That's why they mess with them. Because the hatred they got for IUIC is so great. Oh, you hate IUIC too? Okay, me too. Let us come together. Yeah.
But like I said before, we've seen it over and over. I've seen it over and over again. It always turns out the same way.
Right. Keep on reading.
I'm gonna lean back.
Yes, sir. If any man's work shall be burnt, he shall suffer loss.
He shall suffer loss. Bishop suffer a lot of loss out here in Austin. Read on.
But he himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire.
But he himself shall what? Read it again.
But he himself shall be saved.
But Bishop himself gonna be saved, but by what?
Yet so as by fire.
Meaning he got to go through that fire too. That's why in all of this, Bishop, I'm listening, and you say, listen, you have to sit down and examine yourself and be like, damn, what didn't I do right with these men that caused them to turn out the way how they turn out? You know what I mean? Because, that's what the scripture says. You're going to be saved by fire, because these men turn against you and they were attacking you. You was going through the fire too. They slander you. They take your picture up, put it all over the internet. You understand? They slander your name. So that's the fire. The leader's going to go through the fire too. You understand? So Bishop, he went through that fire. You understand? And right now he rising up out of the ashes, man. You understand?
There you go.
He rising up out of the ashes.
All
man.
praises to the Most High God.
Most High had mercy, and he rising up out of the ashes. All you evil Negroes that left up out of here, what you doing? You ain't doing nothing. You understand?
Let me say something, and know for certain it ain't by man's power, it's by the mercy and grace of the Most High. Because trust, when you're going through it, it don't feel good. I can tell you that much. But here, so what you're saying about the loss part. You know, you suffered the loss. I suffered, and not the stuff. Those men, because those were my fruits in it. So it make me now. I want you to pay attention. It make me as a leader look. Okay, what was you doing wrong fundamentally as a leader that all these men fell away? And so it made me think of my walk. It was no longer projecting on them what their evil did, but damn, I have to reevaluate myself. Because there's something, you can't, one man maybe, two men, now after a while, come on. You come back in a wash. These are things I sat home going through in my own mind, saying, damn, I failed these men as a leader. You understand? That's what leaders do. But here's, Bishop, something you want to say? Okay.
You know, you talk about people that say, well, it depends on what you've done. When me and Bishop Nathaniel, when that thing happened at One West, a lot of y'all don't know that there were death threats that were sent out after us. Because we wasn't going along with the BS. They had started this 12 Kings madness and turned against Marshall. After the school stood up said, this is BS, Marshall stood up and said, this is wrong as hell. We out. So it ain't like we left the truth. The truth got up and walked. Mm-hmm. Marshall was the head of the school. The rest of the men were under him. Brothers back then, they know what I'm talking about. So I ain't going all into that One West history because the brothers that was there, they know what I'm talking about. Okay? So even in those situations, we never spoke evil about none of those men. That's the point I'm saying. To this day.
To this day.
To this day. Never spoke nothing. Ariel, none of them never spoke a word against any of these men. That's why I said this is small time stuff that's going on with these cats here. I pray to you brothers that was in that. I hope you endure. I pray that you endure. I really do, because trials get even heavier as we get closer to the kingdom.
So I want to read something.
So I'll just say that.
I want to read something. Sirach 12, verse 10.
Yes, sir.
And remind me to go back. I didn't finish my thought real quick over here. Let me read this first, and then we'll come back. Okay, we'll come back. Sirach 12 and 10.
Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
So now when we read this, we always refer this to the other nations, or Esau, right? Never trust them. But watch this. Jump to verse 1.
Verse 1. When thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest it. So shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits. Do good to the godly man, and thou shalt find a recompense. And if not from him, yet from the Most High. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms.
You don't.
Give to the godly man, and help not a sinner.
Stop. So who's this talking about? This is about your people, Israel, right? Everybody understand that? So when we get to verse 10, what does it say now?
Verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
So do you understand you're going to have enemies of your own people? It says never trust your enemy. How would you know who your enemy is? There's going to be signs that's going to be shown to you to identify if you're spiritual, this man is not my friend. Do you know I see no signs, but I dismissed him? I dismissed him. Oh, he's young in the spirit. I see the sign of evil, of envy, jealousy, emulation in Judah. Always trying to keep up, like competitive, and not in a good sense of. And I think some of his self-esteem. I don't know what it could be, but I struck it off as he's young in the spirit. Always try to help him. I've seen in Uzziah his spirit. It says, never trust your enemy. For as iron rusteth, so with his wickedness. So in other words, look what it says next.
Verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
It should be clear. You'll see that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. So you can take a piece of metal and shine and get all that rust off of it. What's going to happen? it's going to rust again. It's going to go right back. Deacon Abel said one time, when somebody show you behind, take a picture. Yes, sir. Don't act like you didn't see it. You saw a whole ass, now you act like you didn't see it. You know what you saw. Don't dismiss it. Read on. Watch what it says.
Verse 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
So what did God say? Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee. So what is he telling you? If he's by you, he's going to try to overthrow you. Do you know how many decades I read this scripture? And I dismissed, God was giving me instruction and I wouldn't listen. That's why I said when I was going through this, it was no pity from me. I was like, yo, did you get what you deserve? He said, I'm giving you the warning. You read it. So Kanai, you think you know better than God then, right? Bishop warned me. Okay, you don't want to listen to here. You get more people. Oh, you ain't listening. You know how many times I have defended, and this right here burned me. I have defended Bezalel. I held Deacon Adun, and don't say a word, Deacon, right now. I don't hear your mouth. Don't even text it. And Deacon Labo offered him. You know how many times? And they're looking at me like, Bishop, stay out of this shit. And I'm like, nah. To the point I was rebuking them. So when this thing fell apart, in my mind, I know Lobby's like, because, Lobby, the deacon now is like, I was trying to tell you. And he didn't say it to me, but he just looked, Lobby, get that look like, shh. That thing, Anyway, let's move on. But that thing sting. Damn. Verse 12.
Yes, sir. Verse 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith.
Do you know I sat home and I read this, and this thing almost brought me to tears. Because the last part of it said what?
Last part. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith.
And I got pricked. I said, good night, man. What are you doing? You bugging? You act like you don't. You know how it's plain as day when you read something, it's just plain in your head. You don't need no extra breakdown. I was pricked. It hurt. Shit hurt. Damn. Wife is going to the Sabbath. I'm like, everybody's leaving the house. You know what? I'm telling you, I'm going through a moment right now. And she's like, oh, I'm leaving the baby with you. I'm like, I'm not a flipping babysitter. I'm a flipping warrior. I go to war. I'm home with a baby. Happy Sabbath. I'm like, oh, shit. Ooh. House husband. Let me read on.
Verse 13.
Yeah, read.
Verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts?
Nobody. You're not going to pity a charmer. You got bit. You know what that means? You deserve to get bite. You deserve it. Now, a spiritual man will read this and stop trying to make justifications for himself and say you was in error. But all you can do now is rebuild. And I thank the Most High that I had the opportunity with you men here. I'm talking you men in Austin and you sisters here that stayed and held the line. I have the opportunity to rebuild with y'all. And I'm going to do better next time if life lasts for me. Not again. First time, me, no. I must be crazy, but I ain't stupid. Who is going to pity a snake charmer? No. You pity the guy who out there at the circus with the lion, and the lion maul him. Anybody be like, you feel bad? No, that's what the lion do. That's what the lion is in order. The lion is acting when you think the lion's supposed to stand on a ball and juggle. No, the shit tear flesh. So when it tear flesh, you can't go, oh, why did it tear the flesh? Because that's what he do. That's his nature. That's the nature of people who despise government, and they're going to try to destroy. So why act surprised? Nah, just get pricked. Read on.
Verse 14. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity?
Read on.
For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry.
And you know what happened? When you begin to fall, they ain't going to be by your side. They say, oh, now he's weakened. Now we're going to try to rip him apart. Rip apart this whole congregation. Read on.
Verse 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
You know, it says not be satisfied with blood. Killing you just ain't enough. He want to kill you, destroy your whole family, your baby. They don't care. Everybody's casualty. They're not satisfied. We're going to, listen to me. I'm telling you, it just ain't me. They want all of you. If they could have took every last one, they would have took you out there, and all of you would have been rolling blunt, smoking weed right now. Took all of you to hell with them. Watch this. Read on.
Verse 17. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee.
Treason. Though he might act like he's there, he ain't there for you. Here you go. I'm sitting in there talking. This brother's recording me. Only women do stuff like that. They trying to catch their man cheating. Which man has time to record? What hood did you grow up in? Where did you grow up? They'd have beat fire out of you. That wasn't even a thought. Who does that? I'm telling you, I'm not from his generation, but that I don't get that. When you really got a problem with somebody, you just go put hands. You just deal with it. If that's the mentality you have. But no, I'm going to secretly record you. I'm going to put it in my thing and talk. And the stuff I said, when you heard me dropping them F-bombs and everything I said, there ain't nothing that I never said to Judas' face before. Those that know me know I've been said those. That ain't like a new revelation like he got. I've been said those words. Anybody who ever in here hear me speak, you don't got to hold back anything I've ever said if I say anything. You can repeat it. You hear me? You understand? You can repeat what I say. I don't got nothing to hide. Now, if we're talking about private matters, that's different. But if anything I say, don't hide from me. Don't hide from no man. But watch what it says. Read.
Verse 18. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance.
Okay, this is the verse I want. Now I'm going to move on from this. Now when all this is going on, in your mind you want to say, but no, but it wasn't like that, but this, but that's why I didn't say anything. I just shut up because you ain't innocent. You didn't listen. What's the next chapter say, first verse?
Sirach chapter 13, verse 1. He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith.
They were the pitch. I touched them, right? They were sitting in my house. So what's wrong with you, Kanai? What's your mission? No. You don't get, no. You touch pitch, you defile right along with that. I'm going through this, brothers, for a reason, man. I want you all to understand how to grow in this truth, how to endure. Because this truth is about enduring. Can you stand the test of time? And a lot of times it's hard for people to look at themselves. But if you ever want to rise out them ashes, I'm telling you, you got to be honest with oneself of who you are. Lie to yourself and see. Those men has lied themselves. They believe they're leaders. The brothers now, they bishops and deacons and whatever great swelling titles they have. Anyway, you good. Feel free. Congratulations, you're a bishop now. Congratulations. That don't mean nothing if the men don't respect you. You know something, you're not a leader. A king is not a king unless the people believe he's a king. The minute everybody don't believe you're a king, you ain't no king. You understand that? You all believe those men are bishops? Are you crazy? Name one that you think is a deacon. At best, maybe a senior sister. But they ain't no men of the Lord. Yeah. You might be a senior sister, maybe. But you ain't built for this war, Negro. Back to Sirach 2. Now, this is something different. Nah. Men talking about the other men. Who does that? Damn, I can't use the words I want to use, boy. Only time men behave, here's a nice way to say it. Only time men behave like that, only time you see a person behaving like that is generally women, is because they're caught up in their emotions because they got piped down. You understand? And then they minds are frazzled. I don't know men that do it. I didn't do that. Let's go back to Sirach 2. I didn't do that. Because I don't know how my name could be in your mouth like that. And I stay quiet. I'm too old. You don't be online going back and forth to entertain Facebook. You got to be, please. Are you joking? the goal tried in verse 6.
Yes, sir. Sirach chapter 2, verse 6. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded?
Stop. So I'm telling you, I was doing a lot of this reading right here. It says, believe in him. Did any ever trust in the Lord and was confounded? That's why I used to pray, Father, don't take my understanding from me. I didn't want to be one that I don't understand St. John 3:16 or Deuteronomy 28. Lord, Father, don't take this from me. Let me stay steady, keep my head down low, examine, forget everything. But I don't want to become confounded in these scriptures. These men are confounded. They don't know the Bible anymore. Understand this Bible ain't like no school book like you learn 1 + 1. You can understand today and tomorrow you don't understand it. You understand that? I hope so, because I'm telling you, some people, they get lost in these words. New breakdowns, brisket and roast beef on Passover. You can smoke plunge, multiple wives. I'm going to ask, none of you here, but I'm going to ask somebody who's been here long enough, who's senior. Bishop Yahusah, in all your years in this truth, name one, and I know the answer already. Name one multiple wives relationship that have lasted that you've seen. And we've seen many of them from back in One West. Name one that had multiple wives that worked.
Not one.
See one.
Not one. And I can go further, but I'm not going to do it. Me and Bishop was there. We saw certain things where certain decisions was made to try to make it work, and it was one of the wickedest things we ever seen.
I've never
I'm
seen
going to just stop right there, because I'll go get into talking too much.
So when you hear this,
but no, it don't work.
These new breakdowns, we done heard that stuff. It don't work. The weed doctrine is old, man. It's old. It's new for some of you hearing it. Don't get fall for it. So many years ago, I'm going to say this real quick. When I was back in the world, I was a heavy weed smoker. I know y'all don't believe that, but I did. So I thought I had a deep understanding. I'm like, okay, I can't eat unlawful food. Okay, cool. Okay, you can't be horning around even though he was doing it. Okay, cool, but come on, we could burn tree. Come on, man. So I went to Bishop Nathaniel, and I went to the office, and I said, yo, I found a precept that you can smoke weed. You can smoke weed. Yeah, he looked at me, and he said, get out of this office. He embarrassed me. And now when I came, I was a grown man. I wasn't like a kid. He said, yo, he laughed at me and told me, man, get up out of here. Move, you dumbass. I can laugh now because as I go back, I look at the precepts that I was using. It was so damn stupid. Oh, boy, I tell you, man. Lord, don't take my understanding. Verse 10 again.
Yes, sir. Sirach chapter 2, verse 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
Yeah, he doesn't despise those that call upon him, asking the Lord to deal with them, please, merciful. Read on.
For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in time of affliction.
Mm-hmm.
Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways.
That's that double-minded man. He said he would be there for those. He's merciful, long-suffering, and will save in the time of affliction. So when affliction come, be prepared for it. We was tried here. The Lord was making, and I'm telling you, not just here in Austin, but for all of IUIC, for all you men to learn from my mistakes was, me overcoming what I did, and for those men, it said you guys don't do the same thing there. Don't make those mistakes. A smart man learns from another person's mistakes. Do you all get that? Yes, sir. And if you all go through the same thing, please. I'm telling you, young men, take your time. You brothers who got some rank up here, captains, whatever, observe the time where you're around some of these young men. Don't make them familiar with you. You're not doing them a service. You're doing a disservice to them. And that was one of my problems. Can't be familiar with some of these young men because they don't understand. They don't learn. You know, they don't know how to serve great men with ease. And I don't hate to use the word great like I'm somebody great, but they don't understand that, you know. And it's truth. That's a skill to know how to serve men. Some people don't have that. They too busy want position and power and get it and don't know what to do with it. Read on.
Yes, sir. Verse 13. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not. Therefore shall he not be defended. Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word.
What? They that fear the Lord will not?
Will not disobey his word.
They will not disobey his words. They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word. So let me ask you, now I'm going to change a little bit. I said something before concerning about getting familiar with these men. Do you understand why in the structure of this government being built that there's a ranking system? I'm asking, do you understand why there's a ranking system? What's the reasoning? One of you captains, tell me what the reason for the ranking system. Anyone, I don't care who says it. Government, but what's the purpose of it? Order, right? Okay, it's order. In Esau's government, whatever you call that stuff, they understand that. When you fraternize with young men, you're breaking the order. You can't police it properly. You can't govern it properly because men lose respect. That was my problem. I thought it was on some, because if those know me, I'm friendly. I engage people. But we don't need that now. We're trying to build back Christ's kingdom. We're building an army. This ain't the time for that. And that doesn't mean you be standoffish and don't speak to somebody. But what I did, and that's why I take accountability with these men, is that I made them friends instead of my children. Right. They thought they were leaders. They were leaders shit. They thought. And they didn't understand. And I did that because earlier in me becoming a leader, I had men that came behind me that were younger than me, but they had that respect. Abiel, Tazawan, Zakar. But then a new breed of nigga came. And boy, they get me to work. But that familiar, I can't say the word, someone who could say it for me. Thank you. Breeds contempt. You men, be mindful. Keep these younger men in place, and you young men know your place. And when it's time for you to lead, God is going to move you into that position. Man is not going to do it. It's going to be evident where you belong. Once you in the body, you good. Don't matter where you sit in the body, you just in the body. Trust me, it ain't all that glitters that's gold up here. Up here it gets very narrow for mistakes. And when they come, it turns into something else. So be mindful. 1 Peter's about despising governments. We're going to wrap it up in a second because I know I've been a little long-winded with this. This class went in a whole different... I didn't even get to the point I want to get to, man. Where's it again?
Verse 10,
Peter? No, it talks about despised governments.
2 Peter 2 and 10.
Thank you. 2
Yes, sir.
Peter's. 2 Peter's chapter 2. Oh, I mean, 1 Peter, that's why I can't find it. 2, verse 10. Know the how. Yeah, 2 and 10.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 10. But chiefly, them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness and despise government, presumptuous are they, self-willed. They are not afraid to speak evil of dignities.
You know what is it? Why is it saying they are not afraid to speak evil of dignities? Why is it saying that part? Why should you be afraid to speak evil of dignities? Oh, hold on real quick before we explain that. Bishop posted something real quick. Thank you, Bishop, concerning familiarity. I can't say that word, but thank you. Close enough. Breeds content. Watch this. I'm gonna send it to you. Post this because I like how it's worded here. What I sent to? I sent to online request. Okay, there you go. Watch this before I explain this in 2 Peter's. Look at this. Thank you, Bishop. Read it.
Familiarity breeds contempt. Extensive knowledge of or close association with someone or something leads to a loss of respect for them or it.
Right, you see that? It's an extensive knowledge or close associations with someone. Can't let certain people in too close. You bring them in too close. A lot of stuff that they experience in this, they see, they're around you. And this is my mentality of how now looking back at it, what I saw some of my error was. Because generally when I come around or leadership come around, people gather around. They want to see you. They see you online, pictures or whatever it might be. They want to greet you. You know, you get the salutations. People get up. And then you have a young man that's next to you, and he sees that, and then he doesn't understand. He desires that same thing. But what he misses is the journey it was to get there. You coming in real time and seeing me and saying, oh, look what, like sometimes you see somebody in their life, you're like, man, you got a nice car, nice house. But you don't know what that man went through to get to that. That's his journey. You just, and when you see it, you automatically, you want it. You want that. But he's been on that journey for the last 30 years. So I kind of understood that I built Frankensteins in some of these men. You know, with Judah, I built that in that man, and I take accountability for it because he shouldn't have been around. Shouldn't have been around certain places. Uzziah, I tried to move him to, but no. Those honors, in many cases, they weren't ready for it. You're putting too much power in a young man's hand, and you're doing them disservice, man. It's too much to handle. And I'm telling you, it ain't what you think it is, man. I tell you, everybody who's sitting here, they understand. It's not what you think. But in their mind, they can't see it. They can't see it. All they see is, oh, people say salute them, and they want to be part of that. So you let them in too close, and then they get besides themselves. And guess what you did? You just built that monster. Oh, rap and make people like your music, and now it goes to your head. You think no, man, dude. No, not good. All right, thank you. Let's go back to this real quick about breeds contempt.
You want to go back to 2 Peter?
Yeah, please.
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 10. But chiefly, them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness and despise government, presumptuous are they, self-willed. They are not afraid to speak evil of dignities.
Why should you be afraid to speak evil of dignities? Why should you be afraid? All right there, Enos.
Shalom, leadership. You should be afraid because those men have power over you. They have more power than you.
But, no, but why should you be afraid? Right next to you. Go ahead, Gabriel.
Hey, Shalom, Bishop. You should be afraid because God set them up.
There you go, because they're chosen of God. Do you understand sometimes the Most High would choose people? Well, the Most High would choose people for whatever purpose he need them for. Sometimes he choose you and put you over them just to make you an example on what not to be. Or he might make you there to be what to be. But the whole point is that he chose you. You ladies can go ahead. You don't have to stop. Ladies, you can go ahead. Go stop. But he chose. You don't think, you understand that David understood that with Saul? Saul was out to kill David. But he would not raise his hand against God's anointed. even when he knew that the kingdom was going to be taken from Saul.
Exact reason why we didn't speak against those men back
I know.
then.
Listen to me. I know. Trust me. And some of the stuff Bishop is saying, I'm gonna let you go, Deacon. Some of the stuff Bishop is saying concerning, he's not explaining because there's things we saw that was really like, I'm not gonna say it, but it was beyond some other stuff. But you know what? Many of us learned from those men. We learned from them. I learned. I don't know what I was. I was a weed smoker. So I don't know what the hell I was. So I'm not going to turn around now and badmouth them. What I would do is I prayed for some of them that they get recovered if they went off. But what honor do you have with shaming your father? What honor do you would if you are my child in Christ? And again, it's not to belittle a man or put him down. What honor is it for you to try to shame me? What do you get? Let me tell you, all you feeding is that demon in you. That's what's happening. You feeding Satan in you. He's thriving on that. It's nothing good that you get out of it in dishonoring your father in Christ. I could never imagine. Listen, many of you know I could never imagine in my mind, Lord, please, to ever be disrespectful to Bishop Nathaniel or Bishop Yawasop. Men that were laboring before me, I came and found these men. Many of you understand that Bishop Yawasop, when he was a deacon, and Bishop would tell you, I referred to him as sir. Because I know when I came, I found him doing the work. I was a young man in the back of the room. I was a fly on the wall. But I always referred to him, even when I was over him, I referred to him as sir, because I knew his labor before me. To ever be disrespectful and talk, who does shit like that? Niggas. The niggas do stuff like that. And not would I be disrespectful to any of these deacons that came after me. Right. What honor do I get with putting these men down? Nah, man, that's not how this, you're not building up Christ's kingdom. Man, I ain't gonna get to finish the class. Go ahead.
Hey, but check it right, Bishop. No, your answer was that why you don't speak evil of dignities. The answer was that because they chosen by God, right? Some people might say, what make y'all chosen by God? What make Bishop Kanai chosen by God? Or Bishop Nathaniel? Because I know that's what running through some of their mind right now online. They say, how do we know these Negroes right here is chosen by God? The reason how you know is how you learning that you Israel. That's all you know. You understand? How you wake up to the truth that you are of Israel. Okay? Who is the Lord moving to take this truth to different levels on the earth? Okay? Look around. And you ask yourself that question again. You know? But I got one scripture I want to read. Read Matthew 12. Matthew 12 and start at verse 34. Matthew 12 and 34. This right here is for those of you all that like speaking evil of dignities. Like speaking evil of leaders. I want to show you all some. But read.
Yes, sir. Matthew chapter 12, verse 34. O generation of vipers.
You snakes. Read on.
How can ye, being evil?
How can you be evil? Read on.
Speak good things.
Speak good things, because some of you are just evil. That's why the things that come out of your mouth is just evil against dignities, against leaders. Read on.
For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh.
Right, you're wise to do evil. Read it again.
Yes, sir. O generation of vipers, how can ye, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh.
From your heart, whatever come from your mouth, it come from your heart first. You understand? So when evil come out of your mouth, the murmuring, the speaking, you speaking evil at dignity, all it shows that your mind is evil and you wicked, man. Read on.
Verse 35. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart, bringeth forth good things.
A good man, he gonna bring forth good things. You're gonna know him by his fruit. Read on.
And an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things.
That's why you see some Negroes on YouTube, all they just speaking evil of IUIC. That's all they could do. You understand? Run their damn mouth like the Chinese boy. He can't do nothing good because it's not in him. Okay? Read on.
But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak.
Every what?
Every idle word that men shall speak.
Every idle word. This is why what you all understand. That's why the bishop and them said they never want to speak against their leader. But I want you brothers to understand this. Every idle word that what?
Every idle word that men shall speak.
Every idle word, every evil thing you said out of your mouth, and you're gonna hide it under Leviticus 5:1. You know what I mean? You know people they try hiding behind that. You gonna hide behind, I'm revealing Leviticus 5:1. The scripture says, every idle word that you speak, read on.
They shall give account thereof.
You gonna give account thereof what?
In the day of judgment.
In the day of judgment. You understand? You gonna give account for those of y'all that making fun of the bishop. Right now the bishop is sick. Okay, he ain't feeling good right now, but the Most High is bringing him through. But every last one of you evil demon that is making fun, saying the bishop is wicked, it's good for him, God judging him, all that evil talk that you're saying, you're going to give account for it, man. Including the Chinese boy that running his damn mouth. Every last one of y'all going to give a account for the evil that you all saying. Okay, because how you all learn that you all Israel? Through him. You understand? The scripture say, he that honor father, mother or father, let him die the death. Okay, a lot of you all are dishonorable to father. You all dishonor Bishop Kanayo here in Austin. All you evil Negroes, Bezalel, what's his name, Uriah, all of them that follow behind you all, every last one of you all, the scripture says, he that honor mother and father, let him die the death, man. It's judgment coming for everyone, every last one of you all. It's between you all and this judgment coming for you all, man. Real.
There's a difference between the breed that we come from, us, and a lot of these new quote-unquote leaders now. We learned something that was called discipline. And discipline keeps you on the course of righteousness. I'm gonna make a point. Many of y'all gonna remember this. In 2013. 2013, we had our 10th anniversary of IUIC, and we did a series of interviews, and we were questioned in terms of how we learned the truth, how we came in. How many of y'all know what I'm talking about? It's up on the video now on the original Royalty channel. You hear us talk about how we learned from the elders. Me, Bishop, we talked about our One West days and all of that. And even though we were long past that, you won't hear us speaking evil about none of those men. Go back and check the tape. Now, I want to say this here. With that being acknowledged, with y'all knowing that, imagine us today speaking evil of the men that if you see us now all of a sudden we speaking evil when we learned from these men and we spoke highly of them back then. How hypocritical will we look? Now we're saying Ariel this and Yeshaya this and speaking all kinds of evil against them when we said that we learned from these men. How in the world are you going to trust a snake like that? You one side of your mouth you're talking about discipline and honor, and then the next thing you know, because you didn't get your little way, now all of a sudden everybody's a devil. Right. No Matthew 18, no nothing.
Right, Matthew.
I'll tell you, bro.
Matthew 15:2, it says, he that curseth mother or father or mother, let him die the death, man. And these dudes, they disrespect the bishop. They disrespect Bishop Kenai. They disrespect Bishop Nathaniel. Okay, the scripture says, he that curseth father or mother, let them die the death. And all these dudes, they're going to be judged for all the evil, for cursing their mother and their father. That's why they got to say now that, you know what? Call no man father. They are not my father. That's why they got to twist the scripture to say that now, because that's what they say now. You understand? Because according to the law, you going to die the death, at least unless you repent.
Yeah.
Hey, I want y'all to really meditate on, like I said, we here at the rededication. First and foremost, we're celebrating the feast. All praise be to the Most High God. This is symbolic. That's right, all praises. It's symbolic now that we are rededicating IUIC Austin back, rising from the ashes. I want y'all to meditate on this. Because over the last 3 years, we literally, and I'll just bring up 2 instances. We watched Bishop's life pan out, and this was all on Facebook, social media. You also watched Judah Mac's life pan out. We literally seen tribulation come. Fire came, and we watched one man rise from the ashes, and we watched another man decay right before our face. A lot of y'all wasn't paying attention how slowly he got worse and worse. He waxed worse and worse. At first it was, don't leave IUIC. This is personal. This is between me and them. Where are you going to go? What are you going to do if you leave? Yeah, then here comes the doctrines. He started getting worse and worse and worse. That pride started building up. And a lot of you all put yourselves in positions to where your pride, you write a check that your ass can't cash. And now you done said all this stuff to now it's you can't come back. Now everyone's expecting you to be rebellious. You might be a full blown out demon now because of the things that you done said. We watched Bishop go through the fire and triumph. We watched another brother go through the fire, and he is literally blowing trees now, busting shots on YouTube, talking about bitch ass niggas and y'all this. Everybody's a band. If you don't agree with him, you a band. Ban this, ban that. But they ain't the truth. This is where they would have had you go. Where's the congregations? Where's the church? Matter of fact, let's go back to the ones that were here in Austin after that, who said that they were the leaders here. And then you know what they call Bishop up and say, hey, we leaving. We got over half the congregation. Where's their church at? If you left with all the leaders, why haven't you rebuilt? Where's the sanctuary? In 3 years, why haven't you rebuilt? What we're seeing right here, y'all, I'm telling y'all, the Most High God is showing and revealing it to us. And if you can't see it, you blind. You leave up out of here, you don't do what you're supposed to do. Here it is, you don't repent, it's going to be all bad for you. It is what it is.
So real quick, we're going to begin to wrap this up. I want to read it. Okay, you got some more videos that we go? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go through this. So which one we're looking at now?
Hey, let's go over some of these things Bishop said. It doesn't matter. Just put them one by one.
All right, so right here, these are just comments during that whole debacle that happened. First one says, people are waking up, all praises. Hey, what's going on? Can't seem to understand the hell all this about. Quilla Ben Israelite, man, if you don't take that whack BS somewhere else, nobody hates IUIC. This is the point right here. Nobody hates IUIC. We want their camp gone and destroyed so Israel can be in peace. The camps are doing way more harm than good. And if they were doing good, we would root for them to go on. Well, Israel Ben Israel, we are still here. All right, go to the next one. And these were the supporters, okay, of Judah Mac and the rest of them flunkies. Go to the next one. Is there more? Is there more?
That basically, wait, I'm sorry, Captain. That thing that you just read, that last one, was exactly what I was talking about earlier, the tower that witnessed against them. As long as that tower is still out there, we look like SHIT. So we get rid of that, we can have some peace in being demons. That's what they're saying.
All right, let's read this next one. This is by Kim Israel.
Oh, Lord.
Bishop, you have some beautiful children, wife, but you fail them first. Then your flock. You're still sitting there lying. You mentioned none of the... No, this was when all of that stuff was lying. You mentioned none of the backstabbing against JM, Mosh, Bez, Uzziah, and God knows how many others. Blah, 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 blah. If the brother hadn't put the video out, neither would you have. IUIC's finished. with and without your fake apology, whatever. Then right here, I replied, when will IUIC be finished? Please give date and time. Once again, to Kim Israel, you failed. Your prophecy failed. Okay. And there's also a video. Many of y'all seen this video here.
They hate him that rebuketh in the gates. Yep. That's what that is.
You got the video? There's a video that I sent.
You have it?
And the Most High's got everybody's card that was connected in that evil.
Oh, yeah.
Like sending links to people in the body and all that. I experienced that in North Carolina. I heard about that thing. People in the congregation talking about the nooker that was here sent links to people in the body afterwards, trying to subvert them.
Hey, for some of you don't know, that snake that was here in Austin, that snake called every single IUIC school, including Africa.
England, he was cold calling. He had a team of people calling all over the place. Are you with us? Let me tell you what happened. Who does that? And at the end of all that, remember we just read that in Maccabees? At the end of it, what did it gain? What 3 years later, what did you accomplish from that?
Nothing.
Nothing. Satan used you. You twice dead.
No, that's it. Do you love me? Do you love me? Yeah, Satan love you, all right.
We in IUIC, we don't die, we multiply. Yeah, that's
Bury
right.
us, we grow.
That's it.
Fool.
Everybody want us gone, but nobody's ready to do what we do.
There you go.
Yeah, everybody want us gone.
And again, I'm saying this for everybody watching online. The reason why this is even coming as a conversational piece, because when you read in Maccabees, the temple was destroyed in the year, I think 145, and 3 years later to the same date, 148, it was rededicated back to the Most High. And that happened in IUIC 2018. December 2018 was a shitstorm. And December of 2021, IUIC is thriving more than ever. Austin is healthy in the spirit. The work is being done. And our works is justifying us. Not our words. It's the works being done. I commend you men out here and you women. Y'all doing it to make this thing. Y'all believe in the vision that the Most High sent for us to do, and you continuing on with that. And for the rest of them, weeping and gnashing of teeth. What you got?
Here, but you know what? You get a car, and you get a car, and you get a Rolls Royce, and you get a car. You get a Ferrari. No, actually, you know the saying, give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach a man to fish, feed him for a lifetime. These are actually 18 of my top students from this year. These are people who have gone from rags to riches. They're not actors. And you know, just to prove it, that Lamborghini is not mine. These are mine right here. But I taught a man to fish, and now he fished for himself, and he got himself a Lamborghini. How's it feel?
Feels great.
How much did you make last month?
I made 150K last month.
You're in Turkey.
I live 10 minutes from here.
Now he moved to We got a high school student here. Where is he? 17 years old. How much you make last month?
Around 20K. I had to skip high school.
He had to drop out. He didn't drop out of school. We had to miss a day. We got probably the truancy officer coming for us.
My name's Casey Adams, 17 years old, and I got into a social media program about a year and a half ago. Wasn't making money. Now we're doing around 20, 25K a month, depending on the certain month.
I love your story. We have a single mom here. My mom was a single mom. You've got how many children?
3 children.
And you're doing marketing agency?
Yep, I'm a marketing agency making $12,000 a month. I'm also a nurse with an MBA, which now I'm making more than I did before. and I'm able to be home with my kids. Let me tell you a little bit about how I started and why. My daughter was diagnosed with a brain tumor in 2011, and I'm also an RN. I also have an MBA degree, and I decided in 2016 that I was going to do something different so I can spend some time home with my kids. I'm the mother of 3 kids. I'm a single mother at that. And I decided that this was something that would potentially change my lifestyle. I can be home and work. Took the course, and within about 90 days, I was bringing in about $5,000 a month. And just to make a whole long story short, in about 7 months, I was hitting 6 figures. My goal for the next year is to build my company, hopefully into a 7-figure company. But yeah, that's my story. I love it. I'm happy. I'm home. I'm with my kids. It just feels good to be in a new family and making money.
Which program are you in?
Ty's business builder, as well as his accelerator entrepreneur. I'm Isaiah Israel. I went from being an IT consultant in corporate America to being my own business owner, making $12,000 a month.
Nigga, you lying.
Where you live?
Austin, Texas, originally from Los Angeles, South Central.
Awesome, man. You're like me. I'm from Long Beach. You're from South Central.
Oh yeah, repping LA.
There we go.
Ty's programs has been very helpful because one of the things he always talks about is being able to have a good lifestyle. So we've done more traveling probably within the past year than we've probably ever done in our life combined. I've been to London this past year. I've been to Israel.
Honduras.
I've been to Honduras, the
Hey,
Caribbean
stop.
channels.
Hey, for some of you that don't know, nigga, IUIC was paying for that. Stop lying. IUIC was paying for that. Stop lying. And I don't know if some of you know. You see that nigga right there? Some of the people in the congregation was giving him $100 a month. He was taken out of their bank account. And some of you thought leadership. No, we didn't know nothing about that. Some brothers here, I think Captain General is one of them. He was taking money out of Captain General's account every month. Yeah. Yep. What you call that thing? Get rich quick. That's one of the biggest scams.
I do want to say something about that. And you all may, I'm a preface it with this. And if what I'm saying is a lie, may God deal with me. You know how many times I protected that dude? How many times that dude was about to get demoted behind the stuff? I'm telling you, he's a dishonorable dude. He's dishonorable. Real quick, Sirach 26:29.
Sirach chapter 26, verse 29. A merchant shall hardly keep himself from doing wrong, and an huckster shall not be freed from sin.
And a huckster, that's, you know what you are? You a get-over artist. You playing people. We had a brother who was with us some years back out of Dallas that was infuriated because he said that Uzziah stole his whole program, his spiel. And the brother was burnt. He's a very emotional guy. And he was livid about it. But he left the body. And Bishop was like, yo, we need to deal with this guy. I said, Bishop, easy. I said, that brother left. He said, can I? I said, Bishop, no. I said, Uzziah's here in the fight with us. That guy left. And they was going to hand him his ass. With Captain Joshua. He was coming at Joshua, and I wasn't off. I said, Uzziah, don't do it. And he know what I'm saying is true. It ain't like I'm making the stuff up. Dishonorable. What he thought is he thought I was wounded, and this is his time in order to plot against me so they can overtake Austin and be his. He wanted to do that to Shockzilla, Shockia. Same thing. That's his mind. He has that corporate American mind. He thinks he's smarter than everybody, and with fair speeches and looking proper and all that stuff. And at the end of the day, you took all so-called mighty men, and what are you guys doing now? You shall know them by their fruits. You guys are having potato chip challenges. Who can eat a hot potato chip? That's what your work is. Here in Austin, these men that you thought was nothing, well, we lost those little young men. Those young men blossomed. On this, how many days? A 45-day camp, whatever the stuff these guys are doing. 60 days of camp, back to back, from Austin to Killeen to Waco to College Station. They didn't do that much work when they was here with captains and senior captains or whatever you want to call captain crunches. You niggas wasn't doing crap. Wasn't doing nothing. Okay, I want to wrap. I'm gonna read this couple. You got some more? That's a dead horse. Okay, what's this? What's this? First, you got something? Somebody? So I want to read a couple scriptures real quick. First Maccabees 1:54 through 59. First Maccabees 4. And then I got one more after that, and we're going to wrap this up.
First Maccabees 4, Bishop?
First Maccabees 1:54.
Yes, sir. The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1.
One second, before let me get this up to the chest, because I didn't get talking to so many years. That dude is dishonorable. That's a dishonorable. Judah is who he is. I'm not surprised, Bez. I'm not surprised. Uzziah, you're dishonorable. I was trying to help you along your way to raise you up to do mighty work in this congregation and for the Lord's business, and you saw me as an angle on how to try to usurp over me and destroy me. And you watched these men. You were there. You came in my house, and you partook. And all you, what's the other one? The black hacker, Azanai, you all was there. You all came and watched these men come in my house. How can you live with yourself? How do you sleep at night? I'm just a cat. How do you sleep at night, man? What kind of conscience? You think God is with you? You really think God is with you? You guys came to my house and partook in that with my children? You guys are foul. You are foul spirits. Trust me, you high up. You are a bishop in the church of Satan. You high up in that church, man. You niggas is evil. And I stay quiet. Make God judge. I pray you for your repentance. And after this, you never hear me say another word about it. It is what it is. Because we got work to do. We got souls to raise up. Whatever. Okay. But in the meanwhile, between time, today is your day. Okay. First Maccabees 1:54, you foul demon.
First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 54. Now the 15th day of the month Caslu, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar, and builded idol altars throughout the city of Judah on every side, and burnt incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law, which they found, they burnt them with fire. And wheresoever was found with any the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law, the king's commandment was that they should be put to death. Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities.
Here's the point. Read on.
Now the 25th day of the month they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of God.
So during the feast that we're keeping now, the feast of dedication, in the 5th and 20th month, in the 15th day, verse 54, and now on the 15th day of the month Caslu, in the 145th year, what happened? The temple was destroyed. It was desecrated. All right? Just remember that. In the 145th year, the temple was desecrated, right? Now let's go to 1 Maccabees 4:52. Now I know many people went over the Feast of Dedication in this last week, so you should be able to connect the dots. 4:52.
1 Maccabees chapter 4, verse 52. Now on the 25th day of the 9th month, which is called the month Caslu, in the 148th year, they rose up betimes in the morning, and offered sacrifice according to the law upon the new altar of burnt offerings, which they had made.
So now, listen what it says. Now on the 5th and 25th day of the 9th month, which is called the month Caslu, in the 148th year. So this is 3 years later. What did they did? They cleansed the sanctuary. They had a new altar. We got out that old property out of there. We in a new property. Look, if you, I wish y'all could see. If the cameras can pan the room right now, can that camera do that? I'm about to tell you, I throw that money for it. Better pan. Yeah, pan the room. I want y'all to see, witness what's happening here. Y'all thought to destroy this. Other side. Okay, other side. Okay, we can't see up there. I can't see what you're doing. Just look at that. Look what the Most High is doing. Just look. You think this is man's doing? You think man can fall? You think man can look? Come on, man. Listen. Y'all better stop playing games. Y'all better repent. Listen. New spot. New spirits. All that old leaven is gone out of here. And guess what? It was 3 years ago. So it's just befitting that we keep in this feast of dedication, and we asking the Most High to continue to bless us, have mercy on us here in Austin, that we can continue this work and we can put our brick in and be numbered amongst all you other camps doing the work, because we ain't dead. We ain't dead. Austin is here. We ain't going nowhere, you filthy niggas. Filthy. Yo, that's a foul spirit, man. That's a foul spirit. That's a foul spirit. Man, boy, that's a foul spirit.
Let me read something, Bishop. Matthew 18 and...
Nothing good comes to you. You can't build no congregation when you're starting off like that. It'll never go nowhere. Listen to what I'm saying. You'll never go nowhere. You'll never go nowhere. Broken down, breakdowns, dead class. You ain't no lively stones. You dudes are decrepit. You ain't coming no. I listened to that class before. That's just boring. You play that when you just before you about to commit suicide. Shit is boring as crap. Act like you got breakdown about not bearing grudges. You guys are damn, I'm telling you guys are evil. Boring. Let me finish venting.
Yeah, sir.
So when you Negroes thought you had IUIC, when you thought, and all you camps thought we was on the ropes and we was falling, Bishop Nathaniel just told you, he said, we're going to take a shot. I'm going to take you in deep waters. He started taking you in Revelation and had you all drowning. As much as you couldn't stand his gut, it was undeniable that the spirit was coming out. I was like, at that point, you had to shut down. And we all giving glory to God, not to Bishop Nathaniel as he's a man like us, but the Most High is using him. He took you in deep waters. We're going to spend the next couple months of Revelations. Y'all don't even know what Revelations was.
All praise to the
You didn't
Most
know
High.
what the hell that stuff was. So you're not like us. But you could be. You just got to make Christ and God as your foundation and be sincere. And you could do the work just the same way to glorify him. Simple. Go ahead, Bishop. I'm finished.
Matthew 18, I want to read verse 7, and I don't want to move around.
Yes, sir.
I was making a point about a lot of the spirits that were misguided by these dudes. And now they out there in the world messed up in the wilderness, okay? And then, like I said before, I've seen different episodes of this same kind of thing going all the way back. A lot of the spirits, I've even seen some of them after 1995, and they don't even look the same. I happened to catch some of them in New York, looking at them. One was going across one of the bridges that I should pass to get to work. I happened to see him. His whole spirit looked different, and he was a strong brother in the body. But because of that foolishness, went back into the world, nobody's looking for him. Some of the people that y'all know that were being cheered by these same people, like that blue woman. I forget her first name. But
that little
like
funky twat.
But even her,
let me tell you
she's
something.
in the, wait, bitch, I'm going to let you have it. But my point is, if you cared about the flock, everybody sees that she's in wickedness now. Everybody sees it. Where's the love? Go after her. Try to get her to repent. It was never about the people. Look at that. You got the other ones, the twins. They went after evil. They in complete evil now. Nobody's looking for them.
Yeah, he's eating this girl backside out on
Stuff like that.
Pornhub.
I'm telling you.
We saw it. And for her, I'm sorry, Bishop.
Yeah.
For her, you got shame. You getting your behind eaten out on Pornhub. If your father ever knew that you're left with these simple dudes and we evil, and you all don't say nothing about that.
That's the point.
Y'all just act like it don't happen.
So
I saw all her business.
These brothers, these people that are out in the world, nobody ever really went to, because it was never about them. Nobody's trying to administer the gospel to bring them back because you claim you love them. They gone. They finished. Read. This is Matthew 18, because those spirits were offended by those who were supposed to be trustworthy. They followed you out. Where are they at now? Go ahead, read.
You want verse 6, Bishop, or 7?
Verse 7. I want verse 7.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 7. Woe unto the world because of offenses.
Woe be unto the world because of offenses. These are evils. Go ahead.
For it must needs be that offenses must come.
For it must needs be that offenses must come. So there's going to be trials. There's going to be tribulations. There's going to be evils. There's going to be betrayals, treachery, evil speaking, hypocrisies, lies, all of it. The scriptures are saying that. Read.
But woe to that man by whom the offense cometh.
This is where the discipline comes in. We need to make it our business to not allow for these kinds of. We don't want to be the conduit that bring this evil out here. We understand that it's going to happen, but all of us should be determined to say that we are not going to allow our vessel to be the one that's going to bring the offenses.
Right.
Okay, read it one more time.
Yes, sir. Matthew 18:7. Woe unto the world because of offenses.
Go ahead.
For it must needs be that offenses
For
come.
there must be heresies. That's what another part of the scripture say, to prove people. So this is going to happen. People going to creep in unawares, going to try to act like they're your friend. Let me sit next to you and all that. When their whole purpose was to deceive. Their whole purpose was to destroy the brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
But woe to that man by whom the offense cometh.
But woe be unto that man by whom the offense cometh. So all of these people have blood on their hands. That's the point I'm bringing out. They have blood on their hands. Now, give me verse 6. We're going to read the blood now.
Yes, sir. Verse 6. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones.
Those lost spirits that I was speaking about earlier, and many more that have followed these evil dudes, that have followed these evil doctrines. Some of them talking about, what was it, the doctrines that these guys followed up? Morning. What is that? Morning to morning, or morning Sabbath. Where are those people at? See what I'm saying? So there's a whole list of people that have followed these things out there lost. Go ahead.
But whoso shall offend one of these little ones.
Go ahead.
Which believe in me.
They once believed in this truth. They were trying to get themselves right. That's why we commend you young brothers. Y'all did not get swept up in this mess. Y'all believed in this truth. Even though y'all were babes. Y'all had enough discernment to recognize evil when it came up. All praise to the Most High for that. Read.
It were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck.
Do y'all hear what this thing is saying? It was better that a millstone be hanged around his neck, the ones that caused those brothers and sisters to fall. Even though I said earlier the deceived and the deceiver are his, so offenses must come, but woe be unto that man by whom the offense cometh. Read that.
Yes, sir. And that he were drowned in the depth of the sea.
So read that statement again, the whole thing.
But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that
listen to what the judgment is. God said it was better for them.
Go ahead. That a millstone were hanged about his neck.
It's a better judgment for you to get a millstone tied around your neck than to offend these young brothers and sisters. Like I said before, many of these sisters and brothers came into this truth because their lives was messed up and they sought Christ. They sought salvation. They sought to get their minds right, get their families right. And then you're going to come in and try to subvert them and take them back into the wilderness and leave them there. The Lord says it's better for you to take a millstone and tie it around your head. That's better than what I'm going to do to you. That's what that's saying. That's better. It's better that you read what's better for them than to have Christ to deal with them. Read it. Read it again.
Yes, sir. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged.
It was better for him that a millstone be tied around his head, around his neck. Go ahead.
Were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea.
That's a better judgment than what Christ is going to do to them same spirits. So that's the reason why there's no tit for tat up here. We can't imagine the kind of judgment that God gonna give them. I'm being serious. I don't have to say a word against them. That's why I didn't speak about nobody earlier. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna speak the truth and let it go, because God is gonna be the judge. And when that thing go down, it's not gonna be pretty. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay. All praises.
I'm gonna wrap up on this scripture. The deacons, anybody have something you want to say? All right. Isaiah 49. Give me verse 5 and 6.
Yes, sir. Isaiah chapter 49, verse 5. And now saith the Lord that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him. Though Israel be not gathered, yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Lord, and my God shall be my strength.
Yeah, what? My God, what?
And my God shall be my strength.
And that my God shall be my strength. Listen, thank the Most High that I'm part of this mission with y'all, man. There's no greater joy that I have that I get to be around you all and do this. And I know my mission is to raise up the 12 tribes of Israel. That's what I was called to do. And I'm glad I could be partaker of this with y'all. But what's the next verse real quick?
Verse 6, and he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob and to restore the preserved of Israel.
And that's what you men here in Austin are doing in your prospective cities, that you're restoring Israel, not destroying. Do you understand something? If you are trying to sow discord, to tear apart something, you are working for Satan. God called you to raise up the 12 tribes of Israel, and whoever he does not want, he will remove. If you are found to be trying to destroy, to circumvent, to despise government, to do things contrary to what you broke bread on, man, I'm telling you something, you playing with your life, you're going to die a death. That's why it says there's be some among you that is sickly. We're going to break bread in a second, and we'll go through it. So in a second, you read it. But the point was that it says, and it should be a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to do what?
To raise up the tribes of Jacob.
And to do what?
And to restore the preserved of Israel.
Read on.
I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth.
And guess what? With all that happened, we were light to all those Gentiles, and talking about the Israelites throughout the earth. We're all over the earth. We didn't stop traveling. The word was still getting out. With the few people you took or they left, thousands came in. You're kicking against the prick. It doesn't work like that. We are called to raise and restore the 12 tribes of Israel. So to you men here in Austin, I salute you for the work you're doing, man. Continue on staying faithful to God. And I want to thank all of y'all for the prayers that you've given us here in Austin, for myself, because the work is not over. As long as we got breath in our lungs, we're going to do this work.
Yeah, you know, like, a lot of the time many people are willing to confess. But before you confess, you have to acknowledge. That's what these classes are all about. It's us acknowledge that we know good. So when we acknowledge, when you see these classes coming out, because that could happen to any one of you here. You understand? When you acknowledge this class is the medicine. You understand? So when the trial come next time, then you may acknowledge, there was a class about this. You understand? I must confess my wickedness. But a lot of times what you're not doing, you're not acknowledge these classes is that medicine that's going to heal us and keep us stronger. You understand? We have to acknowledge that, brothers, because we all sick. But at the end of the day, have you acknowledged how to repent? And we can bring the brotherhood or the unity of the nation together. Because don't never take things personal in this. You understand? Even though these brothers we just mentioned, it's not personal. It's the job. You understand? It's the job God put in our hands to do, to gather the 12 tribes. Then we didn't come here to lose none of y'all. You understand? So we're going to defend the ship that God put in our hands. It's a bunch of people. It's a lot of soul. So our job as leaders is to defend them. You understand? Hell no, we ain't going to let you take none of them. You understand? You can come and be deceitful or whatever spirit that is on you, your guys. But always remember, brothers, this class is for us to acknowledge something about us. Then we may confess what we're going through daily. That's what this class is there for. I guarantee you, I'm looking at all these faces here. I guarantee you guys, couple of months from now, year from now, 2 years from now, it's going to be new faces. Because you have not acknowledged anything yet. You have not acknowledged anything yet. With that, man, happy to be in Austin, man. All praise to the Most High. Clap your hand for yourself.
All praise, all praise.
Yeah, your guys acknowledge the strength of God. That's when men said, it will never happen. God said, I'm going to show you my strength then. Because men think they can stop this movement. This movement was not built by no man. It's built in Christ, through Christ. We're still going to continue to do these works. Because their strength is don't come from men. Their strength is coming from his son, Jesus the Christ, King of Kings. That's what Deacon Malachi just said. At the end of the day, brothers, you're going to have to consider your ways. You understand? These class not to destroy anyone. It's to build you up if you know the mission you in. All right? Shalom, Israel.
Bishop, who's doing the, anybody doing the, hey, captains, who's doing the announcement?
Yeah, I have to say something, man. Yeah, my Captain Galilea. Your name was mentioned. I'm sorry, man.
We're gonna raise money and get you that $100 back.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. Let's play the 10 years in the making. Check. All right, all praises to the Most High for that great class right there. Round of applause again for Bishop Kadai, the leadership. Rising from the ashes. Austin back on the map, baby. That's what we're talking about. And they ain't going nowhere. That's right. All right, hey, so let's play that first announcement from IUIC Arizona. Damn, I'm black. I'm shine black.
That's what I'm talking about. No black. You want to be shine black.
That's right.
Stay shine.
Let's play that. Go ahead, play it.
Yeah. It's Brew to Brew with the Maisie Prophets.
The Brew made
Let
it.
go. Border fringes, I laced up my boots, Rooter Bruder, showed up with an army. Nightcap in Phoenix be lit. We healing the sick and waking the zombies. Showing our people that sin is destruction and heathens reputed as nothing. Rebuking the evil is loving. Anytime the Holy Spirit upon me. White willing hair for a black God. Christians hear that and they dip. Kill Babylon, yeah, he's that hard. Look what he did for Egyptians. We believe all the transcriptions. You know my cargo pocket got the scripts. You know my armor bearer never miss. Nothing but death for you if you resist. Running all day in the hedges, highways. Out here trying to save your soul. We rising from the ashes one day. Seeking God's face. The fire done tried its gold. We holding count. Holy Spirit filling up the air. Demons come against us, we don't care. Never give up, yeah. Never give in, yeah. We got the win, yeah. We holding count. Holy Spirit filling up the air. Demons come against us, we don't care. Never give up, yeah. Never give in, yeah. We got the win, yeah.
Hey, all praise to the Most High. Round of applause for that. Shout out to Captain Joshua and all the leadership in Arizona holding the line with 30 days of camp. Send up prayers to them, man. You see that video? It's a lot of demons out there in Arizona, but the work got to be done. Be the man to do it. So all praise to the Most High for that. IUIC Arizona. Let's play the Haitian crisis at the border. Let's take a look at that.
Toute la journée, m'a dominé. Toute la nuit, moi, va jamais dormir. Mais pour qui ça, moi, pas qu'on m'a dominé. Avec la vie vieille frère mignon, qu'a passé mal.
we have provisions, we have clothes to give them. They said, no, they have enough, we can't let you in, whatever. We also implied that we're going to teach, because we're a church group, we're going to teach to them. So they said, no, let nobody in. So what we're going to do, we got camp equipment, we're going to set up outside of the camp. We got, so that way we can be able to teach, and hopefully they can hear the words and flock to us to the gate. And we'll see how long we can do that before, I guess, they shut us down. So send up prayers for us, Lord's will.
So the Les was over there passing out the equipment and the merchandise. How that go?
It went well. It went well. They was real happy. They came up and they was applauding us. It was like the Israelites, you know what I mean? So all praise to the Most High. They know who we are, and we trying to get them to know who they are.
All praises to the Most High. That was a few weeks ago. I believe that's in the Haitian, when they was at the border of Mexico, things of that nature. The brothers went out there and did a mighty work. So all praise to the Most High for that. Wherever the people are is where IUIC is. We ain't sitting on the dirty couch. We where the people are. All right? Hey, let's play the Feast of Dedication announcement from Philly.
I don't celebrate Christmas, it's pagan. I celebrate the Feast of Dedication.
Everybody go through things. We not perfect, so we not do the blame game thing. Know this trial's gonna come one day. I fi endure, adapt me and sing. Any function must clean, then step out, peel out, jump in a car, tire screech out, GPS it have it put in the route. Dream team touch the scene, everybody scream out. Wait up, turn up the lights on the start. Ring tune, pull it up, celebrate cause we no carry grudge in the arm. We no carry grudge in the arm. DJ, turn up the lights on the start. Ring tune, pull it up, celebrate cause we no carry grudge in the arm. We no carry grudge in the arm.
Wake up, moon outside, it's a party. Hop up, dedication, it's a party. There can't no destruction, it's a party. Too live, too lit, move with the body. Bible with the pins in a black bag. Dance, 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 dance real fast. Zonovan book, yeah, I got that. Hold up, that's an Israelite starter pack. Passover dance with a staff in hand. Feast day show for a contraband. Dancing like I'm trying to see the homeland.
Be strong in the Lord. Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? All praises to the Most High. For that was Feast of Dedication in Philly. We was all partaker of that. They held, Deacon Aitan held down the class for the opening of the dedication. It is still Levi's week. All praises to the Most High for another day, right? All praises to the Most High. Y'all can clap for that. It's Levi's
That's right,
week.
that's right. It's Levi week. That's right.
Yo,
listen.
know you.
Yeah, listen, man.
Oh, sock passe.
Yeah, listen, man. I don't want to hurt you the mouth for this week. That's it. It's all about Levi this week, all right?
Praises to the Most High.
Especially Deacon Abiel. Please, I don't want to listen to you right now.
All praises to the Most High.
Oh, I forgot. Hey, happy new moon. Tonight's your moon, right?
Yes, sir. Happy new moon.
Happy new moon.
All praises to the Most High. All right. Let's pull up the ad for Bishop. If you've been paying attention and you actually watch the classes, you see that the devil is wroth and our wicked people are siding with the devil. They banned Bishop Nathaniel Shout Out Tuesday because some pastor that take pictures with his knees to his chest in overalls got wind of it. And they banned the Shout Out Tuesday from this past week. But Bishop ain't letting that stop him. Tomorrow, that's going to drop right there. Christian evangelist Perry Stone lies about Christmas. That's going to drop tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Bam, bam, bam.
That's right. They can't stop this. That's going to drop tomorrow on the IUIC Events YouTube page. Make sure you check that out. Share that thing everywhere because we know that wicked Hell Day is coming up, but we may be able to reach somebody before that and they repent and turn from it, all right? So make sure you check that out 9 a.m. Let's play the Hebrew Journal video that they got up next.
Judas chapter 5, verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people,
meaning any sin,
and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
This shall be their ruin. Go ahead.
And let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
That's why the white man keeps sin in the black and Latino community, because they know God will not fight for us. If they're breaking God's commandments, you got women's rights movements, if you got homosexuals with them, if you got, what are some other things? You got crackheads, alcoholics with them, child molesters, pedophiles. Come on.
But if there be
but, you running by the words. But, listen to what he says, this but now, go ahead.
But, if there be no iniquity in their nation,
meaning if they have repented unto their God and are keeping his commandments,
let my Lord now pass by.
You better leave them the hell alone. Go ahead.
Lest their Lord defend them, and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
Ye are the light of the world.
You are the light of the world. What else are you?
A city that is set on a hill.
You are a city that is to be set on a hill so that the people that are still in darkness can see. Like it says that you are the light that shineth in a dark place. We are the example that our people are supposed to be able to look at and say, those brothers and sisters, they got it right. Come on.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Let's play with that. Gather yourselves together. So as we pointed out, there's a lot of work that's involved in us just simply gathering together. A lot of personal things got to get pushed to the side, and that takes work. Your own desires and temptations, those things got to get pushed to the side. Gather yourselves together. That's verbiage. That's action. There's a lot of work involved in that. Then it says what? Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Meaning that the Lord is going to put more emphasis on the need for us to do what we are resistant to do.
Journal. I don't know who's on that editing team, but damn. Shout out to Bishop Yawasop, who's got a main handed officer, Abaddon, and the whole editing team for that Hebrew Journal. You can get your Hebrew Journal from your camp leaders. Just check them out, because the leaders of this world know that a nation divided cannot stand. which is why they are trying so hard to keep our people down now more than ever. Gather together, Israel, for we shine as a light for our brothers and sisters who walk in darkness. Get your Hebrew journal from contacting your camp leaders. All praise to the Most High. All right. Hey, let's pull up the Naphtali National Flyer, the Mission Blitz. All right, there we go. So Naphtali is up, National Flyer Mission Blitz, every Sunday for the month of December. The flyers for Naphtali are on the website. Just go on there and download those things, and let's bring in our brothers and sisters of the 10 tribes, because we can't go home without them. All right? All right, so let's play that. The last but not least, let's play the IUIC Austin Grand Opening promo. Let's bring that thing on. Can we get a drum roll before we play it? Is that possible? Tech team? Was that too much? Okay, he gave me the he pointed. I'm shine black though.
2018 December is when Austin had a major malfunction, and it was in tatters. Men conspired to destroy not only me, but this congregation that we all love. We're all part of it. That's why I always say I am IUIC, because we all part of this. Anyway, they left us for naught, thinking that the men that were going to be left back, which were just soldiers for the most part, the only thing that was an officer was going to fall, or they were going to take over. But it happens that the Most High had a plan for the school. These young men hit the ground running, never stopped. Even with the little hiccups, they were about the business. And what you see, giving all praise to the Most High, is by the hand of a lot of these young men. So I take my hat off to them. They believe into the machine that we're trying to build here, which is Christ's kingdom, and they put into work. They put the work, and so are you all here to witness what the Most High is doing in real time. It's never one person. The Most High sets people in this body for his reason. And likewise with the artwork, we have brothers in here who are skilled, sisters that are skilled, that came in here, offer work, their free time to help put this together. So what you see here, some of the officers, Bezaleel and Jared, came out of Miami. These guys are wise master builders. They came in here and fixed this place to what it is, because certainly what it looked like prior to what it looks like now is two different things. And then we had brothers coming with the paintings on the walls, the artwork. It was a collective. So they all worked together and made this thing happen. As Bishop always says, never give up, never give in, stay diligent, know your call, make sure you know that what you're in this for, and understand that at the end of the day, this is all a process. We're all learning how to become better servants of the Most High. Whatever tribulations, afflictions, whatever you go through in life, never lose focus, all right? And eventually, it shall come to pass. And we're here now, IUIC Austin, grand opening, rededication to the Lord, and praise Him.
Bishop, would you like to speak on that, and Bishop Deacons?
Yeah, let me get that scripture in Acts, where they said, "Listen, you fight if it's of the Lord." It's Acts. Yeah, this is for all you evil Negroes out there that keep saying that wanna destroy IUIC. Keep saying, "Yo, we gonna destroy IUIC." You siding with some BBC, Southern Poverty Law, everything you do, you shooting at us with all type of different darts, and it ain't working. Let me tell you all something. This is why. Read that scripture for me.
The book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone.
So, hey, listen, this is the high priest at that time. He had wisdom. He said, listen, these men, he's talking about the apostles, and then he says, leave them alone. I'm telling you, dudes, leave us alone, man. Leave us alone. Do what God called you to do. We going to do what God called us to do. Leave us alone. Okay, because you keep having our name up in our mouth. You keep coming at us, listen, we going to defend ourselves. God is going to fight for us, man. God, we ain't got to do nothing. God is going to fight for us. Read it again.
And now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men.
If what we doing here in IUIC is of men, read on.
It will come to naught.
It's going to come to naught. Negroes could rise up and destroy it, like what they tried to do here in Austin. They could rise up and cause confusion and destroy it because it's of men. But read on.
But if it be of God.
But if it be of God, if what we building here in IUIC is of God, read on.
You cannot overthrow it, lest happily you be found even to fight against God.
Uzziah, Bezalel, Judah Mac, all of these dudes is fighting against God. The little Chinese boy, all of them is fighting against God. And the thing about it is that they don't even see that they're fighting against God. You understand? You cannot destroy what God is building, man. Okay? So all praises to the Most High. Austin come back bigger. Yeah, right. Yeah, keep on reading.
Verse 40. And to him they agreed. And when they had called the apostles and beaten them.
Okay, yeah, I already brought it out. Okay, so hey, listen, Austin, we got rid of we flushed the toilet, get rid of the doo-doo. You understand? That's I got a quote from Deacon from Bishop Yow's. We flushed the toilet and we got rid of the SHIT. You understand what I'm saying? So Austin have grown. You understand? And it's going to even grow to another level out here. Once you brothers and sisters out here stay faithful, man. Once you all stay faithful, this truth going to continue, man. Just stay faithful to the Most High. Don't matter what happened. Don't matter what opposition come against you, man. Don't ever give up, brothers. Never give up. Never give up. Never give up. Never give in. Especially when even Negroes come at you, man. Because they ain't fighting against you. They fighting against God that's dwelling with you, man. Okay?
Austin have flushed the toilets. That's a good thing. Hey, think about this here. If y'all live in areas where you have to, you have the garbage collection times, and if you forget to bring that garbage out there, and then and the truck pass by, you got to roll the garbage back in the house. You got to roll it back to the. You be mad as hell because you want him to take it. Well, Austin has flushed their toilets. They have gotten rid of the garbage. The trash man picked it up, and now the temple is cleansed. All praise to the Most High. So that's wonderful.
Everybody listening online. And here, all of you in here, I'm asking for a favor from y'all. Lava. Do me a favor if it's within your power. Subscribe to IUIC Austin on YouTube. And let's build up this algorithm so we can get this word out. So everybody pick up your phones if you haven't done it. If you got a YouTube account, just log in, just hit that subscribe button, press it, like some more videos so we can get in this motion, and share with people online, all right? So IUIC Austin on YouTube, subscribe today.
All right, we got one more last minute entry.
Yo, we don't do no last minute entry, man. What it's about? We ain't approve it. What it's about?
It's the raffle that they had going on down here in Austin.
Yeah, we need that. Please, we need that.
Okay.
We need some help.
All right. So here we go for the nationwide raffle. IUIC was hosting this all week. It went out. Is this a new one or is this the one for the dominoes and things of that nature? Get a line. Get it. Hey. It's a new one. Okay, all right, let's pull it up. All right, so this is a new raffle coming from IUIC Austin. See the blue and brown Judah bag covers. We got the custom brown and orange Judah bag. These are backpacks right here. That's the Bible covers. This is, I don't know what the hell's name is. It's custom silver Judah bag. And that is the ephod. Okay.
That's bad.
All right. They got gold too? Oh, that's good.
A for the women. Listen.
Oh, yeah, bring it up, Bishop.
Hey, I'm sorry, I ate something hot.
Okay.
That's talk. Say it.
Hey, this ain't for the women either. For those that be wanting to make fashion out of the holy of holy things that the Most High set up, that is for the man. Leave that stuff alone. Don't make earrings out of it, fashion, whatever it might be. That is for the man. That's orders from the top down. All right.
That's in the scriptures. By
Yes,
the Bible.
From the Bible.
From the top of the top.
Okay, so that's white. Oh, that's gold. You can't tell because the picture. Okay, so that's real gold right there.
That thing is heavy. That's not light.
Okay, that's real gold that you are placing a raffle for. All right.
You got to be a man of stature to wear that. You can't be light.
That's right. All right. So what you're going to do to get into this raffle, you want to send your payments to iuic.austin@israelunite.org. You're going to do that through PayPal. Put your item name that you are raffling for in the notes and put your name. All right. What's the end date on this raffle? Get it out. The 18th of January. All right. You got to the 18th of January. Once
2035.
That PayPal is iuic.austin@israelunite.org. Put your the item name you're bidding for, and put that in the notes. Put your name also. All right. May the Lord be with you.
All right, Israel. 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 23. For I have received of the Lord that which also I delivered unto you, that the Lord Jesus, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread. And when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, Take, eat, this is my body which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, This cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as often as ye drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup, ye do show the Lord's death till he come. Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and the blood of the Lord. But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body. For this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.
Yeah, what's going on with Austin and Bishop?
You tell me, Dick.
Yeah, big up to the sisters that make them.
Oh, we made it, Lord. Ooh, you had me worried. Hey, real quick, we'll show the impact of the power we have as a congregation. Just ask brothers to subscribe and sisters subscribe. In a matter of 2 minutes, over 700 people subscribed. It's about 2 minutes, man. Thank you all so much, man. We appreciate y'all. Bishop Yausap, it's an honor to have you here, sir. I'm glad you came out to spend some time here in Austin. Deacon Malachi, he's out here too. It's good. Thank you very much for coming out. And Deacon Malachi, and Deacon Abiel, man, it's good to see y'all. And all you captains that came out. Captain Shemaiah, man, you're a flake. All right, I'm going to call you by name. Yeah, you didn't show up here, damn. And who else? OC, Mattathias, REA. Yeah, okay. You know, there'll be write-ups going out. I'm just messing around with y'all, man. I know everybody couldn't be here. For all you brothers, you officers that came from, listen, you coming out here and you sisters coming out, this is a testament that you all love this truth. You love us, and you came to support us, man. It is incredible to see you all out here. And I really appreciate you all the labors you all did, and you all came, spend your time and put your money to traveling out here and spend some time. We're going to turn up tonight. IT, you guys, fantastic job. Helez, Officer David, Razis, Khalil. I can't name all of you. We appreciate you, man. We really do appreciate you all.
Yeah, Bishop, you know I got beef with Alez.
Well, hell is what?
I got beef with him. You know
Okay,
that,
well,
right?
let's. You in his cross here. I had to go to sleep on Deacon last night. I just walked away because he was a rare form. And also Hoshai for coming out. You know, right here. Come on. That's good. He came out. He came to support. If Hoshai didn't show up, I was going to be salty with you. I was going to talk crap about you. I'm glad you came out, man. So good to see you. We miss you. Miss seeing you, spend time with you.
Last night,
You can say something. You look at me. I miss you. Damn. Say I miss you too.
Damn.
Damn.
What's wrong with that brother? Say
I'm out there
something.
putting my heart out there. He's like, yeah, I know you miss me. I tell you, black people, boy. Yeah. What you gonna say, Labo?
No. Yeah, you know, last night we had a chance to spend time with the brother, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep on the good spirit, man.
Yeah. Y'all don't forget his works. Don't act like he ain't. All right. You see these 365 days of camp. And he'll start, but put some respect on it. All right? All right, so anyway, so where we at, ladies? Mama P, man, I'm so sorry you would sleep on the floor for a while with no bed. Damn, I put Mama P through it, boy. Damn. That's why her back is bad because of that. These damn niggas. Let me stop. Most High Christ bless you all. Hey, I'm sorry, Cap. That's right. I forgot Cap was out here too. You all saw that video when he had that tight T-shirt on a motorcycle? That was your man, Yoella. You saw him. He really was trying to stunt. You know, he was doing push-up for the week before that. Cap was just, that dude don't ride no bike. He's just trying to be like,
man. Yeah, that was just like somebody who had it, they put his face on it. Somebody who had it put his face on it. Now you get credit.
You see how
for it.
Levi turn on each other quick. This is your week. Y'all behave, man. Hey, Israel, we love you. Stay strong, Lord. Stay faithful. Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead. Who gonna call it? Go ahead. What do Levites call it?
Feast of dedication, rededication of Austin. Brothers, stand up.
Oh, snap.
We're going to do this big. All you haters, wave to the haters. Hi, haters. Hi.
Pan the camera around. Let them see. See what the Lord is building. Keep on going.
Keep waving.
Keep on waving. Hey. You ready? Let's go.
Brothers, what time is it? What time is it? What time is it? Who's the king? Who's the king? Who's the king? What color is he? What color is he? What color is he? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Faith, patience, salvation. Faith, patience, salvation. Faith, patience, salvation. Never give up. Never give up. Never give up. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His what? His what?